Hello, good morning. We're live.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone can hear me.
I
Pardon the
can
music. We're
ever I
having
can
technical difficulties. There
I
is no
think
sound,
I'm gonna
but I
check
wanted
you.
to at least
I'm gonna
start the
check
stream.
YouTube.
Maybe you can help us troubleshoot. And I'm not hearing Chris. I'm not hearing the opening music that we're playing. Happy St. Patrick's Day if you can hear me. So I need to figure out on my end what's causing me to not be able to hear anything on this in this tab. It's not muted.
I can't wear
The
that.
speakers are set
I can't wear that.
to the right ones. Can y'all hear me? Can hear me, right? Shake your head if you can hear me. Okay. I cannot hear y'all. Say something. No. What could be causing this? Like nothing's different on my end. Yeah, at least I'm hearing the music. The music that I just played. Okay. So now say something. I'm still not hearing you, but I am getting sound in this through StreamYard now. You want to try leaving and coming back? I mean, I don't know what you're saying, but can if you're out there in the audience, can you hear Chris? Can any of you hear Chris? Is it just me that can't hear him? Um. Okay, I guess he'll try to come back. Anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day. If you can hear me, which I hope you can, um, wear your green. Come on panel with green or costume or be whatever. This is our St. Patrick's Day party thing. Bring your green beer. Put the green food coloring in your hair. In New Orleans, it's the St. Patrick's Day. Oh yeah, I was gonna try to see if there's a live feed or something. Let me see. St. Patrick's live. Irish channel. That's where it is. 7 hours ago. I wonder if it's copyrighted. If it's like from a live. Oh, I'm not gonna risk it because you know what? They're gonna have music and stuff. The bands are playing music. They have trucks that play music. Ooh, I heard you come in. I heard the doorbell, so maybe that's a good sign. Nope. Is that your green? You need a bead. You need some beads. Nope. I heard you connect, like the little doorbell noise it makes. So I heard that when you came in, but I'm not hearing your sound. Is anybody in the audit comments hearing Chris? Nothing's muted. Your settings are set to the right mic. You the next step is like close your browser and restart it, and then maybe if that doesn't work, restart the computer. Because I'm still not sure if it's just me or if that's what the YouTube is getting as well. In the meantime, I will try to keep it Keep it going in the St. Patty's Day spirit. Woo, woo. Denise. He is not talking. His mouth not moving. Hank, hey. Happy St. Patty's
Yes.
Day. Woo! Okay,
Yeah, I'm just.
Hank. So it was definitely Chris. You heard, you didn't hear Chris either?
I did not hear Chris.
Okay. Then there's something on his end.
Yeah,
Where's your green? Are you in green? Do
I
you have a
am in green.
Okay, I guess
Let me change the light real quick.
it has to be the kind where it's like you're like so you don't get pinched. So you want it to be obvious, so people don't have to debate whether to pinch you or not.
Nah, it doesn't make sense. That light doesn't work either.
You don't have a green fedora or a bead. I wish I could throw one.
It is green. It's just the lighting doesn't show it that well. Look.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
In person, like somebody would know you had green on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Chris has his green light. Hank's saying it is you because I can hear Hank.
That's you.
Still nothing. You're hearing it too, or not hearing it too?
That's correct. I'm not hearing it.
All right, it's something on your end. Oh Lord, all this advanced technology that everyone's complaining about. That's why I'm not worried. This is why I'm not a doomer right here.
Yeah, me neither.
Hey, Dobaz, happy. Do y'all have St. Patrick's in Norway? I know he was an Irish dude, right?
Yeah,
So
all
is it
Catholics have St. Patrick's Day. We borrowed it from the Catholics, but I'm not Catholic myself. But yeah, that's what. So pretty much all the saints follows from the Catholic traditions. So pretty much Catholics and Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox would be have their saints.
Absolutely not, he says. Oh. Well, you're missing out, let me tell you, especially if you're in New Orleans. I was going to show footage, but they're having the parades today live. And they're throwing cabbage and carrots and potatoes. You can make a stew.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, now
Hey,
we're back.
Chris.
Is your hat green too?
Nah, it's just I just put the shirt's green, but I just put a green light on.
Oh, okay. Well, it works. It looks Irish. Okay, welcome to our St. Patrick's Day.
I might even drink some Irish whiskey here in a second. I don't know.
Oh, that sounds good. I wish we had some here. That is a good question. I was thinking about that today if I'm Irish. I know I have a little bit of Welsh because we're descended from Daniel Boone and he was Welsh. My brother did the 23andMe and he rattled off all of our DNA while we were all sitting around the campfire and they were drinking. So I didn't retain all of it. I don't remember if he said Irish. It doesn't stand out.
Lindsay and therefore my children are part Irish. She's like half Irish. I am my mother's maiden name is Gibson, so I'm definitely Scottish to some degree. So
and Spanish.
Hey, Chris.
And Spanish. I'm half Spanish, half Scottish. Yeah.
Hey, Chris. I figured out how to get my we call soundbar plugged into the Muse DAW. See, I got it working.
Oh, that's cool. Which DAW is it? I'm not familiar with this DAW. This is
Muse Project, MUSE.
Cool. I mean, it looks pretty competent, and I like where I look. I mean, I'm ride or die with Reaper, but at the same time, it looks pretty badass. I like it looks pretty intuitive. I like the look of it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Audacity if it actually had some competency behind the design.
Yeah, I had to get a little tired to figure out the interface, but I figured out how to plug in the.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm
telling you, man. You should really check out Reaper. That Reaper has got the best workflow.
Maybe, but this one's free and open source and can export MIDI.
Yeah, so does Reaper.
Higher Irish DNA than you, given how many Irish slaves.
No, Reaper's not free.
The Vikings took Irish slaves, so you might have some Irish. Yeah, you're probably right. Like at least more than me.
I mean, like my family.
Well, then you should have St. Patrick's Day way more than we are. Why aren't you doing it? Go get you some green Kool-Aid or Jello or something to celebrate.
And hello to Delbez out there. Haven't seen you in a while, man. Good to see you. Hello to Denise.
Oh, because it'd be like celebrating slaves. Isn't that a good thing these days?
Well, I mean,
That's what
supposedly
Juneteenth was.
the St. Patrick's Day thing is about how he took a magic bell and chased all the snakes out of Ireland, which
That's what I knew it as growing up. And I was
Yeah.
like, they had a whole holiday for a man that got rid of the snakes. I thought that was so base.
Well,
Like,
but
Yeah.
when they talk about snakes, they're not talking about actual snakes. They were talking about like the pagan traditions and everything that like a lot of them worshipped, or a lot of them around snake. There's a lot of snake deity type things in ancient Celtic mythology. So he chased the snakes out of Ireland with Catholicism. It's about how it's about him like basically Hellenizing Ireland.
I guess
well,
de-Hellenizing.
it's still fun.
Is it
though. It's
de-Hellenizing?
still-
I thought it was Hellenizing whenever like.
Well, it's not Hellenizing because Hellenism's paganism, so it must be de-Hellenizing.
Hellenism is not
Christ-
paganism. They didn't have that conception around when this was all happening.
I
Yeah,
guess
but
Hellenization
I'm
was after the fall of.
I'm forgetting
the-
my.
Hellenism's
Forgetting
not
my
Christianity,
That
though.
was Alexander's empire, and after the fall of Greece and all the city-states, it started to become a larger culture. It wasn't the Roman level yet.
I've heard the term. I've heard a term used Hellenizing in
But
reference to
Greek
him, but
was
it's
the
probably not the same
culture
thing.
that's
definitely Greek culture
that spread to all the other areas.
Helen
And
of Troy
then
is
Jewish
where it comes
culture
from,
started to mingle with Greek culture and Egyptian culture, and it started to form this larger like cultural. Not really a
They talk-
synthesis, more like
they-
a
they-
syncretism, and
when they talk about-
Gnosticism started to develop at the same time, and all that.
Gnosticism developed way before that, but I mean, at least the earliest references to anything Gnostic go way back further than that.
How far is it?
I mean, back pre-Christ. There's not a lot of Gnostics that goes pre-Christ. So, I mean, the sect that Christ himself was from, the Nazarenes, were essentially a Gnostic sect themselves. So, anyway. The historical figure of Jesus Christ came from the Nazarenes, which was a Gnostic-ish tradition. It wasn't what we consider classical Gnosticism today, but it was very
that
similar
Christ
to
came after Hellenism.
No, well, I mean, like not in the more modern sense of the term, from my understanding.
Because
Maybe I just need to read my history. I need to go back
Alexander
and read
Christ
history
was like 200 or 300 BC. They still had several centuries to go before we even hit AD. That's where you had Philo, you had Neoplatonism, you had the Library of Alexander. All of that was part of Hellenism, and that was way before Christ or even Rome had even happened.
Yeah, like what Denise says, Hellenism was transitional between paganism and Christianity. That's kind of what I meant. That's kind of what I was talking about. Because like sometimes some of the Crusades are referred to Hellenization, or referred to as Hellenization, and which I always thought was weird because like the term Hellenism comes from the Helen of Troy, but then again, some people also say that
it comes from
Hellenism
the Hellenes. The names of the Greeks for themselves were the Hellenes.
Yeah,
right.
I guess the terminology just doesn't make sense to us.
Yeah,
because we changed the definitions to be reversed.
Yeah.
I guess.
I want to say that it also has like I think it's a was Constantine's mother or something like that, is like the guy that like kind of codified Catholic religion.
But that was way after. That was like centuries
that's
after.
way later on. That's way later on. Yeah,
Republic.
It is way later on, but part of the Crusades are sometimes referred to as Hellenization. That's the reason why I use that term, but it's probably wrong. I'm not saying that I'm right.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear the original, like why y'all were talking about Hellenism in the first place. So this is going to be a very interesting St. Patrick's Day already. I could tell.
Yeah, but anyway, but him like the whole thing about him chasing the snakes at Ireland has nothing to do with snakes being in Ireland or not. It was entirely about him. him chasing up the snakes, which were like the pagans, the pagan,
Like drain the
the
swamp.
yeah, he sent all the pagans, and which like and if the Irish mythology, Celtic mythology is like my favorite of all the mythologies. I think it's the most interesting. The entire stories of the Tuatha De Danann and like the elvish, all the elves and fairies and stuff like that, and that comes from that is like all really super fascinating. And a lot of them like there were like they considered like dark elves was like one of the Celtic traditions, and they were kind of reptilian and snake like too, and so that's part of the tradition as well, is that he
Snake people.
snake people, but they weren't literally like they were just like they were something, they were dark skinned and like they were and people referred to them as
Were they at
snakes,
least
so like
green?
no, they were supposedly
So,
they were supposedly
well, because
they
it's
were
St.
just black.
Patrick's.
I think they were just black people, to be honest, but you know, whatever. I think
Whoa! Wow, what an
well,
interesting
I'm not
twist. This
supporting
took.
it. I'm not saying I'm saying St.
Well,
Patrick was
I
an asshole.
am.
I'm saying St. Patrick was an asshole.
Even
He had some magic bell that like that when he rang it, it sent all of the snakes like running or something, or it did something to them. So I don't know. I mean, it's one of the dumbest myths
there's
there are.
snakes
But
in England. There's what is the adder? Is the fer de lance in England? Was it Hawaii? I think doesn't have there's not a lot of snakes up here, at least the poisonous kind on this side of Washington, because it's a little too cold. So there's
yes,
areas with no
yeah.
snakes, but it's not England.
Dolbez nails it right there. His last comment nails what I was getting at. Hellas is Greek. They are civilized. The Crusades can be seen as a mission to civilize the barbarians, hence a Hellenic mission or Hellenism. Yes, that's exactly what I was referring to. He just said it way
Okay,
better
well,
than I
now
did.
that we got that cleared up, what's everybody doing for St. Patrick's Day?
I don't know. We were going to go to the farmers market and look for like they sometimes sell these giant Scotch eggs there. Even though like Scotch eggs aren't Irish, but
What's a
they're like
Scotch egg?
you don't know what a Scotch egg is? Oh
A
my God, Scotch
Scotch?
eggs
It
are
has
amazing.
Scotch in it?
Okay, no. Okay, you take a boiled egg. You boil an egg, you soft boil an egg, so it's like it's still a little runny in the middle, and then you roll that egg into sausage, into like fresh sausage, right? You roll it in fresh sausage, and then you batter and deep fry it, and it's probably the best thing you'll ever eat. I don't know what to tell you. It's
It
amazing.
sounds nasty to me, but I might
If
try.
you
But
don't
no,
like
I have never heard this. I've never heard of a
if
Scotch
you
egg.
don't like
No.
eggs and you don't like sausage, you'll definitely not like it. It's definitely not for you. But if
I'm
you
okay
I
like
like
with
those.
eggs. I don't necessarily like. I don't really like boiled eggs.
you don't
You
really
know, I want one of those too. Let me see
the
if I can
egg
find
takes a totally different
I'm
flavor on
looking.
once
Oh, it has
once
the
it,
yolk in the. Ooh, the little gooey yolk is
you
still in the
don't have
middle.
you most of the time it's usually a hard yolk.
So it's a boiled egg with crust around it.
with sausage. It's rolled in
Oh,
sausage and then battered and fried.
here I will show the
Yeah.
audience a picture. So
They're
that
amazing. No matter what anybody tells you, they're
Scotch
amazing.
egg.
Yeah, it's like more like see like
I mean,
these
that's what I'm saying.
ones.
I would eat it. I would like pick at the crust and stuff and eat it, but I would.
You can also do
I
you can
definitely would eat the yolk.
you can take a Scotch egg like that, and then you can make deviled eggs out of the yolks, and put the deviled egg yolk into the Scotch egg, and then you have like this deviled Scotch eggs. I did that once before. Oh, it's amazing, so good. Especially if you like deviled eggs. If you like deviled eggs, if you
They're
don't,
okay. We used to make them for Easter because we pock. I come from the tradition where we pock eggs, and you try to break each other's eggs. And all the broken eggs they would collect throughout the day, and then my grandfather would make a big thing of deviled eggs with them. And so we were always making deviled eggs, especially at Easter.
I know you've grown up in the South. I feel you being such a Southerner in that sense. I figured you must love. I mean, like everyone in the South loves deviled eggs. So I figured you probably liked them, but I guess not
They're
everybody.
okay. I can tolerate them, and each recipe is different. So if I'm at a party and stuff, I'll always try the deviled eggs to see, because you never know. But But I never like would sit at my house and have a craving for deviled eggs. I'm like, oh, I've just got to have some deviled eggs. Where can I go get some good deviled eggs?
I mean, basically, if you can make good egg salad, you can make a good deviled egg. Is what it comes down to. Like I can make amazing egg salad, but like
It's just
so.
eggs and mayonnaise and seasoning.
Oh no, so I don't stop there. I make sure like
Mustard,
you
and
got you have to slow cook
onions.
the eggs. You got to basically sous vide the eggs. You got to
I can't believe none of us did that.
you use you want to take the yolk, you want to use some mustard, you want to use some pickle relish, dill pickle relish, or fresh chopped dill pickles if you want. I usually you want to use what paprika, and you want to use a little, you want to use some mayonnaise, but I some sort of aioli is good too, so you can put a little like lemon juice in it and some garlic. And I always put just a tiny, just a touch of truffle oil into it, and it just raises the flavor profile so high, and then you put that in there, and it's just like it's a whole other level. You can whole other level of deviled egg. Yeah, a lot of people just make deviled eggs, but they just scoop out the yolks and mix it with some mayonnaise, a little mustard maybe, and then like they throw it back in there. I'm not
Yeah,
that simple.
and the paprika, which has no taste, but for some reason you can't leave it out of recipes.
If you get Spanish smoked paprika, it makes a huge difference. Right, like the paprika, yeah, you like the regular, just like if you just go to the store and you buy like just paprika spice or whatever, you're right. It says no flavor, but Spanish smoked paprika will make a huge difference to any dish.
Yeah, I never
I
understood.
think I may steal that Scotch egg idea.
You
Yeah,
gonna
Me
do
too.
try
I
it,
had
it?
to
man.
go to the south side to get it.
Let
Do
us
it,
know.
man.
We
Like
can try those too.
it is absolutely
The
worth
Scotch egg
every.
reveal reaction video. Is this it's a real thing, but like growing up, I never understood paprika. Hey, Leah, because we had like my mom had the spice rack and all that. And as a kid, we would go through and we would try all the different spices. We'd like
Yeah, and
test,
paprika
like
has like
play
no
games
flavor.
and
Yeah,
test each other. And paprika was the one spice that had absolutely no flavor, and I
yeah.
never understood why it was
I was the
valued
same way.
as a
Believe me,
seasoning, and
I
I still
complete
don't. But I
I
know in
completely
hummus, like
understand.
they put the paprika on the hummus,
Hmm.
and I eat it, and I don't know what it adds to the hummus, but hummus without paprika, there's just something missing. So it's
I
doing
completely
something, but it
agree.
has no obvious flavor.
I completely agree that like your regular store bought paprika is basically pointless. I'm just saying that, but if you get a Spanish smoked paprika, it's got the smoked flavor to that adds to it, and that
And the
for some
truffle
reason
oil. I'm okay. I'll run down to the 7-Eleven and pick some of that up.
yeah, truffle oil is actually not. You can get it for it's not real truffle oil like you'd have to go to like a fancy place, but you can get just it has enough truffle in it that it'll give it just like a slight, just like just a couple of drops of it's all you need. You don't need a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I usually get the white truffle oil like from Walmart, and it's fine for like for most cooking I do. If I'm trying to make something like really fancy or something, maybe I'll go to like a Central Market or something and get something like much nicer. But get just a little bit of like white truffle oil like is so good for eggs. It's good for eggs in general. Like if I fry an egg up, if I do like an easy over egg like for Lindsay, like that's how she likes them. I always like I'll drop like a little olive oil in the pan and a little bit and just like a drop of truffle oil, and like it sets it all. Now I'll tell you one thing that I do not understand in cooking, and it's in so many recipes, and I've never been able to figure out the difference of it. Is putting a fucking bay leaf in things. I don't know why people put
Oh
bay leaf
no,
in
we put
things.
them in our gumbo all the time. Like I know
Yeah,
we had bay leaf growing up. I used
and
to nibble on them as a kid.
you recognize the flavor profile of bay leaf, because I have no idea what the
Oh,
flavor
it's
profile.
very strong. It's very strong and pungent.
I
It's
can't taste the difference. I've done recipes where like I left the bay leaf in, and once I took a like bay leaf out, and I cannot tell the difference. I have no idea what it adds to food. But maybe it's just my taste buds just don't like just don't register for some reason. There's been people on there's been entire YouTube videos made about just that subject too. There's entire videos about like, does bay leaf add flavor? Like, so I know it's not
and
just me, but yeah. But yeah, it's I do enjoy doing some creative cooking like that. Yeah.
Oh, red pepper. Yeah, that's what Wikipedia said, Chuck. It's made from capsicum annuum, like which is a red pepper.
Mm.
I think chili pepper family is in it. So it's
Yeah.
like pepper
It really.
without the pepper, just pepper
It's
flakes without the
well,
pepper.
it's crushed. It's crushed and like it's crushed and milled into a powder. But it's not. But it's not a very spicy pepper in the first place. It's a pepper with a very very slight flavor to it. So it
So
doesn't have a
slight,
lot of like.
I couldn't even taste it. I'm not
Yeah.
saying nobody can. Like
If it's
maybe
not
there's some
smoked.
people that have more sensitive taste buds than me that are actually getting some kind of flavor out of paprika, and maybe it's for them. But I taste barely nothing.
I'll tell you another thing I don't understand is fucking people that put parsley in things too. I don't understand
Oh,
what
I love
parsley adds.
parsley. It
But
just parsley is
what does
one
it
of
add?
those. It's almost psychological. It's so especially like when it's on a salad bar or something, or garnishes with something like a salad. It's so cold and fresh and it's like it came right out of a freezer or a cooler, and that sensation and that freshness adds this like psychological pleasure to the dish. It's not the parsley itself. They have to do it right. They have to
Yeah, I guess I'm just not familiar with it. I just literally don't.
It has a
I
little
don't.
flavor. I mean, parsley has a little flavor because I know as a kid I didn't like it. It definitely had a flavor and I didn't like it. I would always take it out and put it to the side. But as
Hmm.
an adult, if it's like if it's cold and fresh, like it can really add something to the dish, like beyond just the flavor itself. It's not the flavor that people use parsley for. It's something else, something intangible.
Yeah. Because I mean, parsley does have a flavor. It's kind of bitter though. I mean, but usually it just gets used as a garnish. It's just put on.
Yeah.
It's just put on. It usually just put on top of things just to like, just that you're not even supposed to eat it. You're just supposed to like. I hate the
I eat it sometimes. It just depends on my mood.
I hate the idea of like of cosmetic garnishes for food though. I just like
Why? Why do you hate that idea? Like that's so.
I just think it's
That's
so
been a
stupid. It's food. Food should taste good. It should
That's been a
it should add to
culinary
flavor.
norm my entire life. Like what? Like that sounds communist. Do you want concrete apartment buildings and only
No,
food that has?
I'm not. I didn't say that. I don't think that no one else can have it. If someone else wants that, then that's fine. They can have that. I'm just like for me, like I just don't understand the point. Like that how good the food looks and how good it's presented is not important to me. Is not even in the same realm as how important to me as how it tastes. If the flavor is amazing, then like I'm not going to give a shit about what it looks like when it comes out. Like I don't care. Like I've had some of the fanciest looking sushi I've ever seen in my life that was all like that looked like a freaking like sculpture and stuff like that, and it didn't taste any better than the sushi that had all that same stuff in it, but just wasn't all like somebody didn't put like 10 hours of like time it looked like into like making it, and then I feel bad for eating it too. Or like have you ever watched these? There's videos on YouTube of people making these insane like pieces of candy. They take the sugar and stuff, and like they carve this candy into like these insane shapes and stuff like doves and like all this stuff like that. And it's just sugar candy. It's like it's not there's nothing special about the flavor to it or anything, but they're like little works of art that will melt and go bad if you leave them out. So you can't even appreciate them, and they don't even taste good. It's just for just for the aesthetic purposes of it. I mean that's fine if that's what people are into, but I'm not saying you can't have that. I'm not saying anybody else can't have it. I'm just saying I don't personally. I just personally I'm just like
You
I think it's
just
just
avoid
stupid.
that dish. If a dish has parsley, you just pick a different dish, or it
No,
bothers.
no. I mean, like it's fine. You can be there, but if I'm making the dish though,
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna go out and buy Italian parsley to add as a garnish on top of something because the recipe calls for it, especially whenever it says parsley as a garnish. Like I'm not garnishes aren't meant to be eaten. I don't see that I just don't like the idea of garnishes in general. It's just something that fancy chefs and stuff do to make the food look more
Yeah,
appealing whenever they send it
it's
out.
an additional aesthetic element that adds to the total the total experience of the dish.
You can give
the
me
synergistic, holistic experience.
yeah.
The-
You can give me a bowl of gray slop, and if it tastes like amazing, if it tastes like it's the best thing I've ever tasted, I don't care if it's gray slop looking. I will eat
that
the shit
the
out of it.
chef with the fancy chef with is not. He's not who the parsley's for. He's not to the people that can live on gray slop. There's a certain people that appreciate that aesthetic, and that's who
Yeah.
the parsley is for.
Yeah, sure.
If
And like
you're not one of those people, that's fine. But I have
yeah.
no problem with the people that are those people having that their parsley and that whole little aesthetic.
Like for example, like once like I looked up this really I looked up like trying to find like the best like garlic bread recipe I could, and I looked up and I actually went through the trouble of making the bread itself. I fresh baked bread from scratch, and I did this twice. I did an experiment because like the recipe called for like a ton of like fresh Italian parsley chopped up into the butter, right? And so I took that one and I did it with the parsley with the butter and stuff like that, and the rest of the stuff, the garlic and everything. And I did another one where I just didn't put the parsley in, and I asked everybody if you could taste the difference, if there was any difference in the flavor, did it make any difference at all to the quality of the food? Nobody, everybody said the same thing. It was like, no, it's like they're the
Because it's
same.
not about you're reducing everything to flavor, and I'm saying it's not about the flavor. It's more than just flavor. And
Texture
that's
is
what the
important.
parsley's for. It's
I
part of
will.
that more.
I agree that texture is very important. Texture for food, very, very important. Like there are foods that I might actually like if I could stand the texture of them. Like there's foods I just cannot stand. I like if you like fresh green peas that are still like kind of like still have like a snap to them. I like those fine, but like those canned green peas that are just like the mushy
You're
kind
talking about
of
the
baby
green
food
beans, like
green
they service at this at
peas,
school lunch. Oh, the
peas.
mushy peas.
Yeah, mushy peas. Like I can't. I'd rather starve. I'd rather starve than eat those things. Like I like
Oh yeah, the you
the
people make
texture of
guacamole with that.
the
There's
texture
a
of like that mushy green peas. Oh, can't
yeah,
take
there's
it.
a faux guacamole that you can make with the canned green peas.
Oh, that sounds disgusting. Oh, that sounds
But
so gross.
that's the school peas. That's the ones they used to put on our lunch tray, and the canned green
Yeah.
beans.
No, yeah. I mean, I grew up with those. I grew up and like I was always a really good eater as a kid. I ate everything like my mom would make. Like I even like I'll even eat canned spinach, and I'm not a huge fan of that either. But I'd still eat it. I still like the flavor, but like the texture of the mushy green peas to me is so revolting. I can't even like it just like has like the texture of baby food. I just like it's just ugh. I won't feed my baby
We
traditional
used to
baby
eat
food
baby
either.
food.
I will take regular food and like sure it's just soft enough for her to eat and like let her eat that. I never would feed my children like that awful like Gerber baby food shit.
Oh my
They were
god! Like even as adults, we would eat it every
really?
now and then. It was like
Oh
a little
man.
treat. Yeah, me and my sister would try different like as adults, we'd go get different baby foods to sample because they were so good.
Yeah.
Especially one of
Yeah.
my favorites is that plum.
I hear
The
you, Leah. Like the liver thing is a good example.
no, ooh that I can't even
I
look at
don't
the jar of that. And they used to feed us liver at school for lunch. I cannot eat liver, even as a kid. I could never
now if it's in like
keep down liver.
a liver in like a liver in like a piece of fried chicken, like a fried chicken thigh that still has a liver in it, that's fine. But like whenever like they
Mm.
just like a cut of liver, like oh disgusting. I
I
can't
can't
take
even
it.
eat anything that's touched the liver. I can't even eat gravy with one little piece of liver in it. And back home we have boudin, and
Oh yeah.
a lot of people put liver in the boudin, and so if you're as averse to liver as I am, you have like if you
Yeah.
don't ask specifically, does this have liver in it? A lot of times they don't even know, and you just have to kind of take your chances. But I can taste liver like that if it's in something.
Like I said, only time I can eat liver is if I get a bite of it in like a fried chicken thigh, like along with the rest of the dark meat and stuff like that doesn't bother me. But but other
Oof.
than that, that's like the only thing. But like if it's
I don't. It's
just
the
cooked, just
organy taste.
yeah. Oh yeah. Just same with like some Mexican places like they put they have like tongue tacos and stuff like that, beef
Yeah,
tongue. Oh oh
you're harshing my
oh
St. Patrick's Day. We got to start talking about
oh.
something.
Ugh. Tongue is the worst thing. Oh, the texture of it. Oh.
Happy Irish snakes and what else? Cabbage and all kind of other non-gross stuff.
Why don't you come on up, Leah?
Oh, I love a good sweet potato.
And Dolbez, but both of you guys should come on. I haven't talked to you in a while, Dolbez. It's been a minute.
Yeah, bring your food. We're having St. Patrick's Day dinner today, and bring your beverage, bring your green beer, your green martinis, your green whatever you put in your body that's green. And come join us. This is it's intended as a very casual hangout St. Patrick's celebration for those that can't make the St. Patrick's Day parades that are going on around the country.
The last time I went to one was several years back.
Results may vary.
When we had tickets to go see Jimmy Eat World at the St. Patrick's Day thing here in Dallas, and like they were like there was people out there doing like the Mardi Gras thing, like throwing beads out and shit like that, and it was pretty intense trying to get down to the concert, but it was fun. I have pictures of it somewhere. Check out the even though my phone isn't blue, it's not blue at the top, it's black. But check out the phone case I was designing for myself. See if you think this if the camera.
Yeah, Dobez, New Orleans has after Mardi Gras the St. Patrick's Parade. That is cool. So is the light behind you.
Yeah, I was trying to get it to focus, but it won't focus. But there, yeah. It'd be black at the top instead of
I was
blue.
gonna play some footage from the New Orleans parade, but then I'm worried about them having copyright music on it.
Yeah, and, there's no telling with that shit.
So I don't want to take the risk. But you can, if you Google, YouTube search New Orleans St. Patrick's Parade or whatever, there'll be tons of videos showing. It's a huge thing down there because they have a big Irish population. They have a whole neighborhood called the Irish Channel, with where a lot of the Irish immigrants came over and settled. And so St. Patrick's is a big deal there. And it comes like a month or so after Mardi Gras. So you have that. It's the perfect timing because the Mardi Gras energy's subsided and people are ready for that next big burst. And it happens. And it's more of a locals holiday. So you don't have all the tourist stuff. It's just, it's the locals coming together to just do their thing together.
Notice like I don't normally see these red lights on my headphones. That's strange, right? Do you normally see those on my headphones? I've never noticed those before.
I'm not noticing them now. Does it mean you have to recharge them or something?
I don't know. I've never noticed I have it plugged in, so it shouldn't be that.
It'd be cool if they could turn green.
Yeah, that would be cool. I have no idea where I've never known
New Orleans and the Amish teenager. The Room Spring.
Right, yeah.
Those are the two party.
Rum Spring.
And Vegas, too. If I had to find a third, I would probably throw in Vegas. I haven't been to any of the spring break places. They might qualify, too. But, yeah, New Orleans is definitely... It's not for everybody. If you're not used to a certain pace or level of... Not so much pace, because it's pretty laid back down there. But they call it the city that care forgot. If you're not used to a certain... level of liveliness or intensity, things can move fast, especially around Bourbon Street and the party areas, the French Quarter. What was I about to do? Oh, I was seeing if I have anything St. Patrick's related that I could share. The parades are really fun to watch, but I don't know if we'll get away with the copyright stuff, so I just have to.
Yeah, the Amish lifestyle is unusual. You're right, Leia. It's I don't
know. What's that movie, Devil's Playground? That documentary that they did on the Room Spring. It was so good.
Yeah, that was a good documentary. I've seen that too. I have indeed seen that.
I'm like, damn, I'm from Louisiana. I thought I came from a party culture, and we grew up clowning and partying and pushing boundaries and acting crazy. But these kids put us to shame.
They certainly do. They
Leah, I used to watch those on PBS. They had Colonial House and Frontier House and stuff like that, where they take ordinary people and put them in this simulated historical setting for a while,
Oh,
and
we'll
they have to
find
like
it.
live like the people of that time period. Okay, well, I don't guess I have anything.
Yep, time to wrap
Tactics
up.
related to
Nothing,
share.
nothing else to talk about.
Well, I don't want to wrap up. I have my
No, I was,
D&D thing tonight,
I was,
but I
I
want
was
the stream
joking.
to
But
kind of go today because I want it to be celebratory, like get people to come. And
no, yeah, I was just
I
joking,
have a
man.
soft spot. Like when we lived in Vegas, Mike and I were we did the orphan Christmas for people like with nowhere to go for Christmas or was it Thanksgiving? I think it was Thanksgiving. And because there's a lot of like transients and stuff in Vegas. It's not a traditional city. And so I have a soft spot for like people with nothing to do for holidays. And I'm usually not doing anything either. And so if I'm able to like get a little something going each holiday for those people, it's kind of just my default. Oh, Leah, that sounds awesome. I get that temptation too, except without the cabin. Just go. Buy you some beer. I don't even know where you are. How much is beer now? I don't drink beer. It's been so long since I drank beer, but when I was in Vegas, you could go to the 7-Eleven and they had the 12 packs of like Schlitz or Schaefer or Ultra Michelob or so. Anyway, they were decent, and they were, I don't remember how much did they go for, like $5 or $6, maybe $7. And the individual beers will sometimes, like, you get the big cans for like 99 cents. And like when I was younger than that in college, the thing to do was the 40s. For some reason, those kids loved the 40 ounces, the old English, and the with some kind of dog. There was another one, bulldog. I don't remember, but and the guy, like the skater punks, they had the baggy pants, and they would cuff their pants, and then they would do it where they could put the 40 in the cuff and walk around with the 40, and so they'd have it to swig when they needed it. I remember Mad Dog wine, like the Mad Dog 2020, and the Boone's Farm, and the Thunderbird. I don't even want to tell those stories on stream. I have experience with each one of those brands. Chris stepped away, but I do like his green ambiance.
I'm still right here.
I like it a lot. That green lighting is really transforming the space.
Yeah. No, I just had to go show something to Lindsay. That's all.
I can't wait till I can upgrade and get all kind of fancy lights.
I've got as soon as our money comes in, I'm gonna sit. I'm telling you, I'm sitting. And I have these two more lights like the ones I use. I have two of them that I'll send you so we can both have lighting in the podcast. Like I have no use for 4 lights, so like I have one. See, here's one right here.
I used to watch that. I never knew what it was. What is that? A lighting?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. One of those panel lights.
Yeah. This is just like the one I'm using as the colors in it. It's it's just like it's just a color.
There's an echo, Leah. All of a sudden, what changed? Did you do anything different just now?
No, I muted and unmuted, but I didn't do anything else.
Is it still there? You got up and you came and sat back down. Did that change the?
I have no idea, man. I can't.
Oh, okay.
I can't understand.
Apparently, it's gone. But if we eventually want to do more with this that we're doing now, we're gonna have to get this stuff worked out at some point.
Yeah, I don't know what causes these echoes and so like I think it's honestly, I think it's StreamYard. And there's another one. This one's a little bit smaller than the other one. But yeah, I have and I have one that's like, actually these are the same size. These are the same size as the one I'm using up there. I have one that's smaller though.
Okay.
And they all work with an app, so you can just go on your phone and you can change the color from the phone. You don't have to actually adjust it
What?
manually.
That is not unnecessary and excessive.
Well,
That's
no, but
just frivolous.
you can fine tune the color. You can
You
make the
could just
color exactly what
push
you
a
want.
button right there in front of you, like while you're.
Well, it's got
Oh, the
knobs.
phone lets you control the color in a way that
Yeah,
the
and
device is like the
that's
little
what I can do. That's how I do.
apparatus
Like,
itself
you know,
doesn't.
whenever I do like the party light thing, that's what you have to use the app for that. It has presets, so it'll do like flash, it'll flash like red and blue or whatever if you want to like cop lights or something like that. Yeah,
Ah,
it's just different stuff like that.
Dan figured it out, I think. Because I
That's
do
what.
notice that your echoes have, because you move around a lot, Chris, and your echoes happen when you talk from far back and then you come up close, and it's like it's changing the way it picks up the
Which
sound.
which is just strange because the only audio coming through, there's no audio on the computer at all coming through. It's all coming through here,
But it's
and so
it's
it
a
should.
filter thing. You know how it filters for background noise and all that? Like when you move yourself in one zone and then come into the other zone, you get that echo because you're at a different range. Headphones are
Well,
best for.
I'll try my best not to
He
do
is
that
he
anymore.
is doing headphones. That's why I don't know why it's happening because it is
Yeah,
headphones.
exactly. Like I have headphones that are they're even noise
So then
canceling.
let's see, because he's saying when you walked away, when you went in the other room, it got quiet. So the StreamYard turned. So there wasn't. But if the sound's coming in the headphone, then how did it get quiet? Because he wasn't any further away from the mic than he was at any other time. Okay, with his, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I can't get the whole.
I
I can
actually,
probably like
I
cut it
actually
out
have a
somewhere.
degree in this, and I don't even know or care to try to figure it out because he stopped. So it was the fact that he stopped talking and started again. It wasn't the distance or that he was walking around. So you have to constantly keep talking. I know this can be hard for you, but if you can manage to just talk as much as you can without any pauses or breaks as often as you can, that will keep the mic level consistent so it
It's
doesn't echo.
impossible. I can't do that.
Well, we're going to test you right now because I need a pee and I need some more coffee. So if you could lead the show in a topic for about 2 minutes, I'll be right back.
Okay, well, hello everybody. No, it's the Chris Show. Hi, that's Chris. I'm Chris, and this is the Chris Show. And no, seriously. So, I really would recommend, do you guys not want to come on and celebrate St. Patrick's Day with us? Come on, hey, what's going on? Why is everybody hanging out in the comments? Like the comments, that's like the cheap seats, you know. All Chris all day, yeah. I mean, we've done those streams. I did an all Chris stream. That was me bitching about True Detective season 4, but I don't recommend anybody go watch it per se, unless you just really want to hear somebody spoil and really like complain about a TV show for like way longer than they should. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's I am very tired these last couple weeks. I have been running around like crazy, and I'm just my brain is just fried right now. I feel like I have like done nothing but I have done nothing but like run myself ragged in all these different to all these different places, and like it's just I don't know. It's been very exhausting, and like I didn't accomplish nearly as much as I had wanted to. So it's just been. Everybody hates Chris. Yeah, thanks, Denizen. I appreciate it. To me, hate, love, it's all the same thing. They're two sides of the same emotion. So you tell me you hate me, it's the same thing you tell me you love me. So yeah, and that's just how I feel about it. Yeah, I don't know. I am. I really wish I could get out of this. Like my headspace feels so freaking bogged down right now. Feel so tired. But there's no time to uh to
You're
waste.
tired,
Or
you said?
yeah, I just this last week, man. It's just been
Oh, you mean
I
just
just
tired in general from the week?
yeah, just from the week. I'm just tired from like everything from this week. Like trying to get the air conditioning fixed and then that failing and
Leah,
everything
I
else.
saw your video. I definitely related to it. I almost don't know anyone that hasn't had those feelings before, but and you come up here and talk about it if you want. Well, yeah, but hey, that's what these panels are for. What else are you gonna do? Like, I end up arguing with people on panels all the time, but then so is everybody else. But I learned. I guess I never really like my self image of myself was never really tied to what the people around me thought because I didn't put much stock in that to begin with, and they didn't have a lot of credibility with me to begin with in the first place. But I've kind of learned to not evaluate myself by because I'm bad at reading people anyway, and so if I think people around me don't like me or not, I don't rest too much on that. I make sure that I like myself, and I make sure that arguing with nobility and a smile, and you get like I make sure people don't have the power to affect me if they don't like me or not, or if I do something that displeases them or irritates them or gets on their nerves because I do that all the time, and so I kind of like insulate myself from getting too attached to how like not having what I think about myself or the story I tell myself be tied to the reactions people have to me. Like I don't put that. I keep them separate because a lot of times people have all kind of reactions all the time, and I have no idea why. And it's different for like different people will have different reactions. So I know it's not like I'm not getting the same reaction from all people everywhere. So it's not just me. There's some kind of interpersonal like dynamics or stuff involved. And so I guess I just don't get too thrown off if I feel like people around me don't like me. Oh, whose panel was it? I'm half Irish and German. Okay, we have an actual. Chris is with an actual Irish person as we speak, half Irish. Half. So you would be no, you're half Irish. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's half Irish.
an authentic Irish.
She definitely is.
What do they call themselves? Irelandians? Irishans?
Iranians. Just kidding.
Irish. I am an Irishman. There you go. Irishman. Which sounds very Irish. Irishman.
Irish.
Oh, okay. Is it posted, Lindsay? It should be at the top of the comments, but if not, I'll there it is. Yeah, Leah, I hear that a lot from a few people. They kind of just have to find. Everyone kind of has to find their level of comfort. Like there's panels I won't even go on because it gets too chaotic and pointlessly contentious, and I just don't enjoy. It's like the panels I enjoy, I go on, and the ones I don't go on. And to me, the panelverse seems like it's big enough where everybody can eventually find the little collection of streams that like their little lane that they're comfortable staying in, like drifting around in. Did you? I just posted it, Lindsay. Did you get it? But then sometimes even on those panels, the sports do happen. I mean, ultimately, each panel, each stream or channel, it rests with the host. So when they happen, it's up to the host where it goes from there. With me, I'm very laid back and relaxed, and I like to have the group determine where it goes from there. I don't necessarily need to step it every time, but I do when it gets to that point. Denizen, you bring up I have a long history with this word toxic because I don't understand it.
Can you pin the Discord link? It's not showing up on the chat there for Lindsay.
The StreamYard, you mean?
I mean, it said StreamYard link. Sorry, I said Discord. I don't know.
I thought it was pinned. Is it not pinned?
It's not pinned, I guess, because it's not showing up on our phone at all.
It's pinned in the comments on my end, and I posted it as a comment just now. Okay. So it should be at the bottom of the comments too.
Why isn't it showing up?
I mean, I could also just send it on Discord.
Let me see. Maybe if I switch it to all messages or something like that, it'll come up. No, I don't. It's just not coming up for us. Oh, there we go. There you go, Lindsay.
Okay.
There.
Well, if they're trying to goad you into arguing, whether or not they actually succeed, you have a lot of say over that.
There we go.
Okay, there you are. Welcome. Happy St. Patrick. Where's your green?
My eyes are green.
Well, you're half Irish, so I think does she get a? I mean, it's not like we can pinch her through the screen anyway. So
I'll put some green earrings on.
Happy St. Patrick's. The Irish eyes are indeed a smiling today.
My daughter's name is Clover, so I kind of win at Irish. There's so many people that ask me did you name her after a weed? And I'm like, no. I mean, I guess both of my daughters are named after weeds.
Well, juniper is a tree, not a weed.
Oh yeah, tree bird tree.
Juniper makes a good martini.
What kind do you like?
Usually gin. If I have my preference, I used to be a martini connoisseur for a while when I lived in Vegas, and a very high-end quality gin. But I'm just as okay with vodka if it's good.
We used to drink.
What do you think?
We used to drink the dirty martinis with all the olives in them. Yum.
Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as too dirty. The bartenders have to.
I know. It's like just keep giving me more olives.
Extra dirty, and it's not even. It's never dirty enough.
Yep, that's what we drank.
My own. I had a whole martini kit.
Yep. I love martinis. Not so much anymore. I haven't had one in a while though.
I haven't drank in decades, forever.
There was once.
Agree with me.
It was Thanksgiving, and my dad asked me what I wanted to drink, and I ordered a Beefeater martini, extra tall, extra dry, with no rub, and just to try to show off to him. And then I got it, and I was like, "Oh, this is terrible." And my dad's like, "That's good, because that's the kind of martini I drink."
The terrible kind.
Yeah. The terrible kind.
And Leah, a lot of it depends on the right people, because that's why people have to curate who comes on their panel. That's going to affect. Because Lindsay and I just had a whole conversation and didn't debate or fight a single time. So it does happen with the right people. Me, I go either way. It depends on the topic. I can just chit chat, or I can debate if the topic provokes me enough where I have a strong opinion on it, or somebody's giving presenting in a way where I feel like a different perspective needs to be presented on it to balance it out. So there are times where I will debate and argue and fight. And if somebody irritates me or pisses me off, I will definitely. I love to fight. I have no problem. I do not back down from confrontation at all. Somebody wants to go at it, get the gloves on and let's go. So there's all different styles here and they all will happen on here. But the just conversation without the fighting or debate also happens here. And I do that too.
I'm sorry about yesterday. It was raining like so hard. It was like over my shoes. My shoes are still like on the vent.
Oh my god! Oh,
It
Did
was
y'all
like
go-
it was like
Yeah,
torrential.
I couldn't get a connection this day. Like no matter what I did,
yeah,
it just
Chris-
kept cutting out.
Chris is streaming to his channel. I'll put the link for that.
Yeah,
He streams to his channel every day as a backup, just in case. That's going to be standard.
I mean, I do forget sometimes, but I try to.
Yeah, it wouldn't connect. The rain was too much.
Yeah, Lindsay must be in Chris's chat, I guess.
Yeah, I'm in the room.
Are you
No,
seeing it?
No, I'm on
Oh,
your. I'm,
Actually, it was a link you sent.
There's the echo again.
I don't see the chat.
So I forget because StreamYard shows all the comments, so we see everything. But the people on YouTube can't see Lindsay's comments, right? Because she's on Chris's channel, so it wouldn't show up. On that.
She's not on my channel though. She used the streamer link you sent her in Discord.
Well, she was before that. She was chatting on your channel. And that's what he's talking
that's
about.
possible.
Yeah.
That may be it.
Because when we interact, it's like it's all one chat, but then the people that are just in one channel don't know which channel we're interacting with.
That's true.
Because he was thinking he was blocked.
Nah.
Yeah, I can see the confusion now because there's a lot of block talk lately. Different people thinking they're blocked. And that would confuse things if you were everybody was talking about somebody that you couldn't see in the channel.
I don't understand why people get so sensitive about stuff. They need to block people and stuff. I just think it's silly. Unless if someone's really
I'm
harassing
too
you.
nosy to
If
block
someone's-
people. Then I'm like, I won't be able to see what they're saying about me and other people.
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
And plus, it's just I don't know. I just think it's silly. I mean, if they're really, really harassing you, I mean, really
Yeah, I
harassing
have
the
very
hell out of
few
you.
people like quote unquote blocked on this channel because what it actually does is just it's hid. It hides them. It's called hidden. I have very few people actually hidden on here, and that's because they were harassing the viewers or the guest
Yeah.
predominantly, like in a really hateful way that took it beyond just playful trolling. A chat. Yeah, I don't like the streams that use the chat bubble. That distracts me so much, especially because I'm watching it on YouTube, so I can see the same chat live, and then just have to see it on their screen. It distracts me, and a lot of the bigger streamers do it, and that's one of the reasons I don't spend too much time in front of their screens because I get annoyed by all the chat text stuff I'm very text oriented, so my mind's gonna latch on to text if it's there. Right. Then all the
There,
exactly.
I got it. I'm in yours.
Oh yeah. Well, the people on the stream, like you are right now, if they type their comments in StreamYard, it puts their comments on all the channels at once. So that's another thing that confuses. The guests that are actually on the stream will get seen in all of the channels if they type from StreamYard while they're on the show.
Like if they're restreaming, you mean? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that.
So let's hear some St. Patrick's Day stories. Jeff, you got any?
Do I have any? Let me think.
It's basically our anniversary. So
Like your marriage anniversary
Yep.
today?
or just no, just
Yeah.
when we got together.
Oh, like when y'all first
Not really our marriage anniversary.
It's echoing bad. Is it because you and Lindsay are both on at the same time? Are you in the same room?
No,
I can go
I
in the other room.
I
Try it.
can't hear her sound though because she's got headphones on. She's got headphones on too.
Oh, she has headphones?
Yep.
Why would it be?
Yep. Here, let me try doing it from my room. Is that better?
Talk a little bit more. It should make a difference.
Talk,
but
talk, talk.
it is working. Yeah, I'm the same way, Dope.
All right.
On my end, if so, I'm gonna mute and see if it changes it.
Okay. La 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 la.
Did it stop? Is it me? Why does it do that?
I don't
Sometimes
even-
it
I
goes,
don't
and
know.
sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what makes it, what determines when it echoes. Oh, okay. So it's not echoing now.
I guess not.
Nope.
Most of my St. Patrick's memories are like the New Orleans parades because they're so fun. At least as an adult. As a kid, I remember because we had the little. Are clovers and shamrocks the same thing? We had the little shamrock / clover patches at school in the playgrounds, and I remember we would look for 4-leaf clovers at recess and find some every now and then. But it wasn't connected specifically with St. Patrick's Day. And in schools, they would celebrate it. We'd have like worksheets to color about St. Patrick's. So it was kind of part of the culture. And I was raised Catholic, but the Catholics never seemed to make a big deal about it. So it was kind of just part of the cultural mythology in the background. But we didn't really like. And the big thing growing up, this was the biggest thing about St. Patrick's Day that was important to remember is you would get pinched if you didn't wear green. So that was the day you had to remember to wear green at school, or all the kids would. And if you went to a school and you were the scapegoat on with the bullying, that was the day that you wanted to, like, I wore green pants, green t-shirt, green everything. Like, I wanted to make sure. I always do it on St. Patrick's because some people, there's two strategies. You can wear a little bit of green. It's pinned on my end. You have to click live chat instead of top chat, and it'll refresh it. You can wear a little tiny bit of green, and then when somebody goes to pinch you, because if they miss pinch you, I think you get to double pinch them back or something. So, and then like trick people, and so they'll pinch you, and then you'll be like, "Oh no, look, I did have my green. It's this little patch underneath my shirt," and then you can do whatever the revenge pinch is. But I was never into that. So I wanted to make sure that people knew I was having green, and there was no question. So I wore as much green. I made it obvious. And green was my favorite color anyway. I used to have a pair of green tennis shoes as a kid that I begged my mama for. She had to special order them because I was just determined to have a pair of green shoes. So anyway, I always showed up at school decked out like full green because I did not want the bullies to have any. Lower your StreamYard audio. You know what? I did change my mic settings because I was coming in a little low on the stream, I noticed. Let's see if that's what it is. My mic sensitivity went up. I'm trying to remember. I don't really remember any days where I forgot and I was just like mass pinched to the point where it traumatized me. I remember like I always showed up in my green, but it was always fun. We all did it playfully. Like nobody was traumatized by it, but we the few people that happened to not show up for green, we would be like, "Oh, you're not wearing your green," and they'd let us give them the little pinch and all that. And then what I remember doing is like we would either write with a marker, colored green marker on us at school if we forgot and needed some green, or we'd like take a little piece of construction paper, or at recess what we had growing up that was really fun. They had it all over.
What's that?
The school yard, and we play with it. Was the rabbit grass, and it's like this long. It's
Oh yeah,
leaf,
the Easter stuff.
It's like Velcro. It sticks, so you can like it, and it comes in these long stalks. You could like take the stalks and stick them together and make things with it. People make crowns and necklaces and all kinds of stuff. So people at recess, you go get like some rabbit grass and you make a necklace of rabbit grass and you wear it around school all day as your green. But if you forgot your green, there were so many
Oh,
different strategies you could come up with to make up for it, to where you didn't get pinched. It usually happened on the bus because that's the first contact
Shamrock.
with school kids that day. So you get
Yeah.
on the bus and you're looking on who's not wearing green on the bus, and you try to pinch as many people, and then you get to your class. And we usually had a little recess before the bell rang, so you tried to get as many people as you could. And then when you're standing in line for the teacher, that's another chance. And then that very first few minutes of school, homeroom and stuff, that's where you filter out who has the green or not, and you meet out the pinches, and then you go about your day. So usually all the pinches happen in the morning. And then if random people see you throughout the day that didn't see you in the morning, they might get a pinch now and then. But it was all about pinches, like having green and not getting pinched. That was the bulk of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, shamrock green is my favorite color too. So I had a pair of green corduroy pants that I loved.
Me too. I still do, actually. Yes, I love green. I love corduroy.
But what we do is the day after Thanksgiving or after St. Patrick's Day, or later on in the day, we'll take Clover out to a couple of the stores and buy her Clover stuff that they're selling on clearance because the day's over.
Oh, like St. Patrick's stuff, or they
it's over, and
OSB
so
things
all
on
the
St.
stuff's on super clearance.
Oh.
Yeah, so she goes and buys big plastic earrings and dumb hats that have clovers and stuff on them. And everybody acts like it's her birthday.
Hey, Ragnar.
So, but my mother was sort of an alcoholic, so she would be like, "Oh, I miss my dad." And, I wasn't raised Catholic, but I was raised Lutheran, which is close enough. But she always used to say, "I gotta drink an Irish whiskey for my dad."
Oh, St. Patrick's reminded her of her dad every year.
Yeah, because he was off the boat Irish, if you will.
Oh, okay. Okay, Leah, you two do something fun today. Wear your green, don't get pinched, and we'll be here tomorrow. We're here all day. We're here all week, every day. Close enough. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, wait, weren't they the ones that broke off from the Catholics?
Oh, I suck at phone.
Oh.
I wish they had a bright shamrock green car. I would totally drive that.
I'm sure they do, especially now. I'm seeing. In fact, my roommate, he had to get a new one because it got not vandalized, robbed, thieved, where they actually take your car.
Right.
But for a while, he had a lime green, little car. I don't know, Kia or something like. So the colors that cars are coming in these days are, to me, a little ridiculous. But there's many things about this new generation that are ridiculous to me. Sometimes it's
saw
easy
a
to
pink
accept
Mitsubishi.
that we're getting old. Do what?
I said I saw a pink Mitsubishi the other day when we were out.
Pink, like Barbie pink. Or
It was
pastel?
almost Barbie pink, but it was a little bit softer. Not Mary Kay pink, but somewhere in between.
Well, I was about to say, we had the Mary Kay cars growing up. Every time you saw a pink car,
yeah,
you could see if it was a Mary Kay Cadillac.
I wanted to be a Mary Kay person, but the amount of Mary Kay you would have to sell to get that car was probably
I worked with a lady that
astronomical.
had a Mary Kay car. She was like a regional director or something, and she had and she would hustle Mary Kay on the side where she wasn't doing the mental health job. I learned a lot.
My
from
mom
her
used to do that for Avon. She would go to different parking lots and then just have all this crap in her trunk, and she would put up a sign and be like, "Selling Avon," and we'd be like, "Woo!"
The Avon parties growing up, they would do. They because my mom and my grandma had the little Avon catalogs, and we would look through them because they had like
Yep.
cool stuff in it that you didn't see at the stores, so it was kind of exotic. And every now and then they'd buy from it.
Right.
But I remember they would do the Avon parties, and all her like friends would come over to the house and they'd show off the products and stuff.
And then Tupperware parties too.
I never had one of those Tupperware parties.
I remember Tupperware parties. And
Boring.
then my stepdad he had these coworkers who were in Amway, so they came over one night and started the Amway pitch, and that was creepy. Like, even as a kid, I had no idea what Amway was. It looked like cleaning products to me, but even as a kid, I was maybe 11, 10 something. I got a creepy vibe, like it was a cult. There was something just weird and not normal about this Amway pitch, and I couldn't articulate it.
Yeah.
It was total vibe, just nothing but vibe, and something about Amway stuck in my head as a kid about that experience of sitting through this presentation.
I hear you. Amway is.
I went
creepy.
to a sex toy party in college, and that was like the most awkward thing that I think I can remember doing, because they were like making martinis and doing the sex toy party thing at the same time. And there were all these gay guys there, and they were like handling them and like fun, like, "Ooh, look at this one!" And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. I want to die."
Did you end up buying? Were you a happy customer?
Hell no, hell no.
We could get Hank to do one on stream. We could do a sex toy party one night, and he could lead it. I don't have any really. I have the little bondage cuffs and collar, and it's more aesthetic accoutrement. It's not really actual toys. I don't really have a sex life, but we could do. I don't know. We got a vegetable drawer. I could go see what's in there, but we could do a sex party night.
These are my sex tongs.
They're all on keto.
But like, it was funny because like they had different flavors of lube, and like this one guy
Oh,
kept
yeah, I
like
remember that. Yeah.
trying the different flavors. He'd put them on his arm and then lick it, and then like put it on another part of his arm and lick it. And I was like, this is so gross. I mean, it was a great way. I mean, just because I was mortified doesn't mean that everybody else was. But
No, that sounds good. Some of the
like,
bars in
oh.
Vegas would have little sample packs, and they had all different flavors, like strawberry and lime and grape. And I would take different packs of different flavors back to the house, and I would like eat on them through the week. They were good. You could lick on, like, I would try the different packs. Like, I want to try strawberry today, and you open it, you taste a little bit. You could just lick on it over the next few days, and then try the next pack. They were
those big old bowls of condoms and lube.
The lube
we used to
condoms,
sell
I don't understand.
3-gallon
First of all, I
tubs.
don't. Lindsay. Frank, you know what time we stream.
What?
We're not trying to steal your little basement video nerd viewers. What are they going to contribute to this? We need people that speak English. How are you being sarcastic about keeping it classy? I think she's a classy broad. Chris has good taste.
Supposedly.
We have good taste in jackets, shirts, and hats.
So what were you saying? Sorry.
Lighting.
I've never seen Grant's Modern Life. You're too new to me here. What's going on, Grant?
Yeah, I've seen him around the
come on the stream.
Channelverse, different comment channels. Yeah, anyway, this is supposed to be a party, so anyone is welcome to come on. You don't have to have we're not going to pinch.
Yeah, like, where is everybody?
I mean, we probably would if we could, but you get a pass today, so because of the technology limitations of technology, it's not yet advanced enough to give pinches on St. Patrick's Day remotely. So don't feel pressured to come up, but if you have
pinchy.
want to, yeah, we could do we pitch your head.
Spit your head. Squishy. Oh, thank you, Frank. You're awesome too. You're hilarious. Keep
Yeah,
up with
Frank,
it.
if you want to get us monetized, sure. Oh, well, no, actually, we were on St. Patrick's Day stories, and I was trying to actually think of any St. Patrick's story at all.
Yeah, I mean,
And we came up with like most of it was wearing green and not getting pinched. So we told like stories of pinching, or actually we talked about pinching strategies because I never really got pinched. I always made sure I had my green, especially when we switched schools and I became the bullied kid. But then as an adult, you really didn't do anything like in the normal adult work world. You really didn't. You might like wear a green pin or something that day. But it was when I moved to New Orleans and they had the St. Patrick's Day parades. That's where the fun really. I'm serious. Outside of Mardi Gras, in fact, in some ways, it's even better.
They have that here, but it is a zoo, and you have to go down there like before sunrise to get like a spot. And like they have like a huge St. Patrick's Day thing down there, but it's basically like St. Patrick's Day pride. They like throw beads at your car and stuff. Like there was one year, Chris and I were following one of the buses, and the guy threw the beads through the sunroof in my car and hit me in the face, and I was like, "God damn it!"
That's not a good parade experience.
It was funny.
Oh,
I put it on.
Oh, okay.
I was like, "What the hell?" They're throwing at my car. It was funny.
There's no such thing as a good parade experience.
Does that qualify as a tragic St. Patrick's story that she got a bead thrown at her?
I don't know. I won beads with shamrocks on them, so that's like a win-win.
And she didn't even have to show her tits or anything.
I got shamrocks on beads. I can see.
Yeah.
This is a bead I caught at one of the.
Yeah. See, I wear all that stuff all year because I've got like jewelry of clovers and stuff from my daughter.
You can put an alcohol shot in here. It actually has room for liquid. This is all from the St. Patrick. And I had another big thing for some reason. It's garters, these little green garters, and all the Irishmen walk around with them on sticks, and they give the garters to the ladies, and they throw the garters. So I have a little green St. Patrick's garter, but I didn't want to wear it today because first of all, it's thray gay, hella gay, big gay, and I'm just not a garter person. There's nothing it would match with on this outfit, but I do have a St. Patrick's garter.
You could put it on your arm and like pretend you're like the
Frank,
gay
is this what going back to your video game looks like? We have later gators at 121, then at 122, still typing. 122 again, more typing, moralizing, judgmental, prudish church ladying, Karening, and then let's see if he's still here or if he actually went back. So. And then in Seattle, there was like this is not a big holiday town. They have St. Patrick's, they know what it is. They have like bars that'll have St. Patrick's Day night or something, but it doesn't have the energy of like it's a celebration. So I'd say after that, my St. Patrick's stories kind of peter out.
There. Yeah, here's my ring. Did you see it?
Let me see.
Because I collect jewelry that has clovers on it because of my daughter.
I see your fan. Let me see. Oh, clover jewelry.
Yep.
Nice.
So
Chris,
people give me clover stuff.
Anyway,
it's my favorite holiday because my mom was always so happy on St. Patrick's Day, and drunk or whatever.
Happy and drunk.
Chris, I remember my.
Go ahead.
You have any stories, baby, other than our Jimmy Eat World?
No, I don't really have.
I mean,
I've never really been it was never really a major part of like my life or anything. Like St. Patrick's Day wasn't really.
What were you gonna say, Lindsay?
I mean, we got together on St. Patrick's Day, so like that's the most important thing that happened for me.
Lindsay had one. She was about to say. Go ahead. You said you remember something.
I remember going to the St. Patrick's Day parade thing that we had here in Vegas. We saw Jimmy Eat World, and everybody had green on and stuff. And we were in the VIP area, and like the VIP people were like overdosing all the people in the VIP area. I hardly remember like leaving, but I remember seeing all the beer cans and all the junk in the street and just like picking it up and putting it on. And Chris was like, "You're too drunk for this," and I was like, beans.
That sounds like it could also be a candidate for the sad and tragic.
It wasn't. It was a happy day.
You just did just a little bit. They're in there.
It was a happy
I was
day.
like, I found a whole bunch of St. Patrick's Day crap. Woo. Here's a happy day.
Chuck,
You got a happy one.
I'm trying to think of any of them at all, much less sad and tragic. Like I said, St. Patrick's wasn't really, unless you live in New Orleans, it's not really a thing other than wearing green. So most of my St. Patrick's was like, what kind of green am I gonna? I did somewhere I dyed my hair green. I might have a few pictures.
I had green hair in
Did the
college.
cabbage face.
I like my hair green. I have pictures. I'll send you some.
Let me
I had my hair green for almost a year in college.
Yeah, I used to do my Manic Panic. It was electric lizard.
Manic
maybe?
Panic
And I
sucks.
did what was the purple? Something violet. And Robin's
Oh yeah, ultraviolet or
mate, was it ultraviolet?
the best way to the best way to dye your hair is, I swear, is to use a bingo dauber, like the ones that you use at a bingo hall that you like stamp your cards with. You have to be really careful though, because it's ink, so you have to kind of like comb it up and then like comb it into your hair with a toothbrush, because it stays like crazy. Anyway, that's my take on having green hair.
And before Manic Panic and everything, when I was younger, we would do the Kool-Aid packets, and then you could color your hair that way.
Oh yeah, that was always gross though. You know, it like stain down your neck and stuff.
Well, if it got wet, yeah. If it was raining that day, I wouldn't recommend it. Or if you sweat a lot. But I would have to keep going back in and touching it up. But and then it would just wash out at night. But it gave enough to like be in the spirit of the day of the event. Okay, let's see. I have a few St. Patrick's pictures. This is New Orleans, but
Look at that green hair. That's exactly the same color that my hair was.
so that's it. That's really all the St. Patrick's stories
I have pictures, but I don't know how to share pictures. And I'd have to look for them.
If you
We went out one
where it
time
says-
for St. Patrick's Day. And...
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Or I was gonna say you hit
I was
present
going to say
bottom.
they took me to a got it.
Oh. Chris, are you here today? You want to just end it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to fix something for this thing I was doing for Lindsay, and I just got distracted. I'm really tired today. I'm just like, but no, I'm fine. I'm just hanging out. I kind of thought I was thinking eventually people would start jumping on like they usually do, but
Maybe they're
I
all
don't-
out. Like I would like to think it's because they are out celebrating St. Patrick's Day, having so much fun, touching all kinds of grass, and just being with other people and being healthy. So that's
maybe
my
what,
little
maybe that's
fantasy
what we
of
should
why
all
they're
do.
not
I
here.
guess I don't know. Maybe that's what we should be doing then.
Doing what?
Maybe we should all be doing that then.
Chuck is cooking.
It makes me feel bad to
What
think
are you
that like
cooking, Chuck?
everyone else is out there just having a great time, but we're just like.
Well,
yeah,
we
we're
could. Let's
yeah.
just end it. Let's get the right. We'll just end it, and then you and Lindsay can go have a good time. But first,
Well,
I want to know. what
I
Chuck
don't have
is
anything to
cooking.
do. It's not like I have anything to do. It's not like I'm gonna go anywhere. But yeah.
Well, no, now you're responsible for go and have the good time.
No, don't tell me I'm responsible. I don't want to be responsible.
My good time was this. This is my good time.
Responsibility.
Chuck, what are you cooking? Like some corned beef,
What's the Chuck cooking today?
cabbage,
You know?
potatoes. Yep,
Can we
St.
smell what the
Patrick's
Chuck is
Day
cooking?
steak. Do what?
Can we smell what the Chuck is cooking? You know. Never mind. It was like supposed to be a dumb joke about like The Rock or something. I don't know. I give up.
I was so like today was a holiday, so I just assumed the news would take a holiday too, and I didn't really look. But let me see. Putin is going to win Russia. Netanyahu and Schumer are arguing. They could come on the stream and do that.
Yeah, let's just add them to the panel.
Israel and
That'll
Hamas are
be
still
a
fighting,
great-
and a volcano in Iceland erupted with plumes of fire and little notice. Well, you got notice now. You got 3 more people noticing than you did before.
Plumes of fire.
And a bunch of elves. Isn't it Iceland that they believe in elves or chipmunks?
Is that Norway?
Little people.
I know
Elves?
Norway has the trolls. Elves aren't they? Are they Celtic, British?
I mean, they're both kind of.
I could ask the AI, or I could just look on Wikipedia. Germanic, Northern Germanic, Icelandic Poetic Edda. Yeah, from the Edda in Iceland. Is Dobes still out there? Dobes, Norway, and elves discuss. Is that a Norwegian?
I would think an elf would be a
Ibsen
bigger
had-
thing than a gnome.
Eh?
An elf would be a better
Would you
than a
check?
gnome. Well, I mean, no, elves. Yeah, elves are supposed to be like very tall. Elves are supposed to be like tall, like Nordic.
Well,
like,
not the little English
giant.
like Midsummer Night's Dream elves.
Well, yeah, I think that was a conflation with fairies and elves, though. They're conflating fairies and elves with that, I think, because because the all the
And
Irish stories of
Christmas elves and all. There's a whole tradition of fairy type elves.
Yeah.
In fact,
That-
Tolkien
Yeah,
might
that's
have been
true.
the first one to make them humanoid.
No, the Irish mythology is the first one. Like the throughout the Daeonin are described as being elves, and like they're massive giants. They're huge.
And leprechauns are
The earliest
like,
surviving manuscripts
traditionally
are
so
from
scary.
Anglo-Saxon England, medieval English. So they're Old English. In Old English, they were mentioned in medical
They
texts.
remind me of the gremlins from Gremlins 2. I think that's
as like causes of livestock illness and stuff. That's where they make their first appearance. But then, let's see, early modern Scotland. Okay, remained there. Scottish witchcraft trials, they were mentioned. Where do we get to modern elves?
well. There's Willow of the Wisp too. Those are
That's in Louisiana. The Cajuns have the Fufalo, the swamp. There's a swamp version of that.
Fufulu.
Yeah, the Fufalo.
The
You can get lost.
Fufulu swamp,
You see it in the swamp at night. It can lure
like
you
a
into
like a
the swamp.
like a fairy bug, like a lightning bug.
Oh, I love lightning bugs.
They light
let
up.
me see. Yeah, we used to catch them and growing up, and dragonflies. All right.
My great aunt, I was in Tennessee, and there's all these lightning bugs, and I'd never seen them before. And so she went and got a jar, and she like went and caught some, and then she's like, "You want to see what I do? Or I used to do with the lightning bugs when I was a little girl." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And she like took them out and took their like glowing butts off, and then smeared it around her wrist, so she had like a glow wrist. And I was like, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever
awful.
seen. I felt so bad. I
you
was
s-
like, don't ever do that again. I cried.
Did you tell her something?
Yeah, I was like, dude, don't do that. That's painful. And she's like, no, but it's cool. It glows in the dark. And I was like, no, let them go. Don't ever do that again. Anyway, that's my
Wow,
horrific
if
lightning
that's
bug
not
story.
sad and tragic, that's St. Patrick took a dark turn.
I used this photo.
No, it's not essential to drink beer. Like,
I used to have this photo that I took while I was driving out to a music festival once, and it was the most gorgeous things the photo didn't capture it at all. I was driving by this this field. It was like corn. It was like this field of like corn and everything. And there were so many lightning bugs in this whole, like it was wheat or corn or something like that. There's so many lightning bugs in this field that the whole entire field that you could see from the road just looked like it was twinkling like stars like everywhere. And it was one of the most surreal and like ethereal things I've ever seen. It was like amazing. I tried to take photos of it, but like back then we had like the shittiest little cell phones that had like no, I had like or just one of those little tiny camera type things that
Or
like
flip phones.
yeah, and it just like the pet camera, the picture just never came out. But man, it was like one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It just like I like the image of it. Just like
Chris, do you
this
remember that tree that was
twinkling
outside
field.
of the Fountains apartment?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There were. Yeah. I saw some fucking fairies out there at one time. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him too.
There was like I don't know what the hell it was, man. It was early in the morning, and like there was like these. I mean, you would just swear that you thought maybe like they were hummingbirds or something, but they
They're
had the shape.
huge.
But they were rather large, and they had the shape of like they had like human looking shape. They had like a human looking shape, and they were all they were glowing and like dancing around with each other and kind of playing with each other. And like one of them would like hide over here, and the other one would like come in like and chase it. Like they would like do, and I was just like, what the hell am I seeing? Like, I mean, I was it was just early in the morning. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't high. I wasn't nothing. And just like there was just like these freaking like weird ass. I mean, I tried forever trying to figure out what
Like
that was.
the size of golf balls.
Yeah,
They were really big.
I mean, they were like probably that big, and so they were way bigger than like even a hummingbird. Because hummingbirds, I know for a fact, are like very, 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 very small, and they couldn't have been dragonflies or anything. So I don't know what they were, man. Like it still freaked
well,
me.
I
It
would
freaks me out to
assume
this
they
day.
were fairy. That would be my first. They must be fairies. That would be
Yeah,
my first.
I mean that was. I mean
That's what we
I
decided.
said that's what I said.
That'd
Like
be
I
my
went and
best
got,
scientific guess. That's
I
what I
went and
would
got
default
I went and
to.
got Lindsay up out of bed. I was like, "Come and look at this and make sure I'm not hallucinating." And she saw it too. And then we're like, "What are we even looking at?" And like, and eventually they just kind of like flittered off. They just like they were done playing there, and they flittered off. And I was just like,
It
I have
couldn't be
no idea what
anything
just
from the
happened.
natural world. Like they must be fairy.
I mean, it could have been
We
something.
It was
ruled
so
out all
weird.
the naturalistic explanations.
If they didn't, I mean, the glowing could have been just from it was like early morning sunshine. It could have been like something, some kind of reflective type of
No,
thing.
they
But
were
like,
so bright.
yeah, I don't know. But you could see their shape too. That was the other thing. One thing if they were just like
No,
glowing
they're
balls or
I'm
something like that.
convinced they're fairies. It doesn't sound even remotely possible that there's a natural explanation for what you saw. It has to be fairies. It's so obvious.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you say so.
And
I don't know.
I wanted to go over by the
I have tried
tree,
like
and
hell
he
to try to
was
figure it
like,
out. But
he's like, no, don't scare them away. And so I didn't walk over by the tree, but we sat there for about an hour.
You don't believe in Santa Claus. Like at 3 years old, you saw Santa, but your first belief about whatever you saw is fairies.
no, it wasn't my first belief. I was like, look, it looks like there's some fucking fairies out here. I didn't think that's what they were. But I couldn't figure out what they were. I couldn't figure out what they were. So that was the only thing that bothered me about it. So I just didn't know I didn't know what I was looking at. I was trying to figure it out.
Do you think it's more likely that you were looking at something from the natural world, or more likely that it was fairies? Especially from someone who doesn't.
I think
so
it's
early.
more likely that it's from the natural world, something I just don't understand or know about. But I mean,
Okay.
I guess it could be fairies, but I didn't really. I mean, I never really believed they were fairies, but I still can't explain what I saw. I looked and researched like everywhere, trying to find like what could these be, like what could these things I've seen. Like I tried to find video of somebody like captured something that's similar to it, something that would look like it. That's something that would like kind of give me like a. Something I could be like, oh, it must have been that thing, it must have been like something like that. But I never could find anything. But I haven't looked in years. I mean, and the internet's gone a lot further. There's a good chance if I looked it up today, I'd probably find it like 5 minutes, find out like, oh, it's like some sort of like some sort of weird like bird or something that like does that. I don't know. I have no clue, man. It was just weird as fuck, though.
How does
It wasn't.
fairies
It made
end
me so
up even
happy.
being one of the possibilities? Because if that happened to me, my first like that would be where it ended up as though it's probably a weird bird, and I would have gone about my life. Never would I have entertained the possibility that maybe it is like maybe one
I mean,
of the
it was
options is that
whenever
it's
I said there were
fairies.
fairies at the time, I was joking. I was like, "Look, there's like fucking fairies or something out here." I wasn't serious, but at the same time, like I also assumed that I was going to find out what it was. It wasn't going to be like some impossible thing to discover the actual the actual like truth behind it. Because like at first I thought hummingbirds, but they were too big to be hummingbirds, and they had like you could see the shape of them. And they kind of had like this like they had legs and like and it looked like they had arms and a head and stuff, and it was very very weird. It was
Wings.
like and in something you really couldn't see the wings because it was they were glowing so much. But like but it wasn't the thing about it. Like any of that stuff could be explained naturally in a much more easy way. The thing that was so weird about it was the way they interacted with each other and the way that they kind of like played at each other and stuff like that I've never seen. Almost like it was very similar to like how like cats like play with each other and stuff like that. You know?
Why would that be
Um,
weird to see flying creatures play with each other?
I don't
Birds
know.
do it.
I don't
Never
know.
I've never seen it before that. I never seen
Birds
it
don't
since then.
really
So.
do that. I mean,
It
cats
was
do.
that
Hummingbird.
weird to you to
I
see
really
flying
assumed it was
creatures
hummingbirds at the
dart
time
around
because
and play with each other? It was that bizarre.
hummingbirds do kind of do that a little bit, but hummingbirds are also very they're not very social. They don't do a lot of like they don't really play, but they will kind of interact with each other to a degree. But and I'd rescued a hummingbird once, and it was like our pet, and
Hmm.
the most heartbreaking. It's my most heartbreaking story ever. I can't even tell it without crying. I'll break down in tears on camera. So I'm not going to talk about that. But like hummingbirds are amazing little creatures, but they are so much smaller than you think they are when you see them because they are because like you see like the flapping the wings and everything. The wingspan makes them make a lot bigger. But whenever you actually see a hummingbird that's still, it's like this tiny. It's like that big. I mean, it's not much bigger
There are bigger.
that.
They're
Like
like the
every single
engines
hummingbird
and
in
stuff.
existence is not limited to that size. There are a range of
Well,
sizes
the ones in
that
the ones in the
hummingbirds can be
the
in.
ones in
I've
the
seen
south
them
are
with my own eyes.
most ruby red throat hummingbirds are about that size. Like I was told that
But not all hummingbirds in existence are about that size. I've seen
no, but
bigger
the ones
hummingbirds.
the ones in the
Like,
United States are usually about that size. Yes, there are South American
is that
hummingbirds
how
that
you
are
got to
massive.
fairies? You ruled out that there are no hummingbirds above the size that I think they are. So let's rule out hummingbirds.
No, I didn't
No,
rule out. I never ruled out hummingbirds
I
entirely.
think I went
I'm
straight
just trying
fairies.
to understand how
uh,
somebody leaps to fairies so quickly and latches onto that.
because it looked like what it looked like people. It looked like what people describe as like fairies like playing. And I thought it was funny. I assumed it was birds of some sort. I still assume it's a bird of some sort. But at the same time, because I can't find any footage of anything that even looks remotely like it, I can't exactly rule out some sort of weird something else. Maybe not fairies specifically, but not something that's like something that's outside of my realm of uh of of scope of knowledge
But
or the
something
scope of knowledge of the
supernatural. You're
world.
saying like you can't
It
rule out a
doesn't mean
supernatural possibility.
okay, if a fairy exists, okay, let's say fairies exist. Let's just for the presuppose that fairies exist. That doesn't mean that they're supernatural. It could just mean that they are something that we have simply not studied or seen. It could be
Except that
a
they're flying
natural
around in
thing
your backyard.
in this particular sense or whatever. I'm just saying that, and this was in Lindsay's backyard apartment complex, but I'm just saying that in this particular sense, like it could be something that simply has not there isn't
It
there isn't
could
a
be like,
current.
but why would you privilege that as a hypothesis instead of something
I
more?
don't privilege it.
because
It seems
because
like you
I'm a
do. Like
girl and I want to
listening to your
believe in
story
fairies.
today. Listening to your story today, I never got the impression until you just said a few minutes ago that you didn't actually think they were fairies.
I said at the very beginning. I said at the very beginning I didn't think they were fairies. I opened
Yeah, but your
with
whole
that.
story was about how fairy they were. What else could they be? And I like
Yeah, because that's the way I was thinking at the time because it freaked me out.
Okay.
It was like one of those things where you freaked out. I was half awake. I had just woken up. It was like it was like 5 in the morning, which was unusual for me anyway. I
It's
don't know
like
why I was
Twilight.
awake. I went out
I'm
onto
trying
her
to
porch
understand the
to smoke a
psychology of
cigarette.
somebody that would seriously entertain fairies as a possibility without ruling out other things, like jumping to that.
didn't,
Like
but I
fairies would
didn't
be
though.
like
Dude, I
W or
didn't
X or Z
though.
on the list, and
I'll
to
be right
jump
back.
to that one without all.
Sometimes I'm telling a story. I was trying to tell it in an entertaining in a funny way. So I was saying it kind of a funny way, but I didn't
It came
really
across
jump to
very literal
fairies.
and serious. There was nothing that indicated humor to me, so it sounded
It was
like you
my
saw
story.
something in the backyard that you honestly believe were fairies, and to this day, you're still trying to convince yourself they're not fairies. No humor came across
Hey,
in that at all.
dude, you're taking me far too seriously right now, man. Like you really are.
You spent like 20 minutes telling the story. I'm only taking what you gave
I
me
thought it was a
seriously.
funny
I didn't know
story.
not to.
I thought it was
I would have
well,
just done my puzzle.
I thought he was
background.
we
being
hadn't been
serious
talking about
too.
anything. I thought it was a funny story.
Yeah, you
I just thought it was
you
a
see
funny
how
story.
I'm really getting thrown off by him because it's not got.
I was
I'm set up to be the
fascinated.
one that misunderstood things.
Yeah, so you were interested in the story then, Chuck, right?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
was taking it that you were being serious.
You think
I mean,
it was like
it
an
was. The
entertaining
story
joke
is
set up?
true. The story is true. It's a true story. But like at the end of the day, regardless, I mean, they probably they are almost certainly not fairies. But at the end of the day, I have no idea what I saw. I don't know what I saw. That's the point. I
But
do
you
not know
think it
what I saw.
could be something not from the natural world.
No, I think it could be from the natural world and something that's simply not necessarily known about. It could be something
Like
cryptozoological or
that
something.
one
It could
day
be.
that you
It
happen to
doesn't.
be
It doesn't
looking,
mean it's
some
not natural.
organism that science has never heard of before happened to
Yeah.
appear before your eyes.
There was a lot of them.
Do you know how many new species are discovered in the world every year? Seriously, look it up.
I gotta go do. I need to step away.
No, seriously, this isn't a bullshit question. Like they're like to ask the AI.
No, you're right there. You're right there, Chris. There are new species found of different things.
I'm just saying, like it could have been a species of something that I've never. How many new species are discovered each year? Google even had like an auto complete result for this, so I didn't even have to type the whole thing in.
And how many times have they discovered a species that they thought was extinct that was still around?
And listen to the answer. This is the answer from Google, and this is from the Science Museum of Virginia. Okay, this isn't some crazy it's like kook website. This is the Science Museum of Virginia's website. Okay. According to the Science Museum of Virginia, 18,000 new species are discovered every year.
Wow.
Not like 1 or 2, not like 10 or 12. 18,000 new species are discovered every year. So yes, I think that whatever I saw
species
is very
of what?
Of animals, of very different kinds of animals and stuff like this. We're talking
Oh,
about.
okay. I didn't know if that included plants,
that
animals, and
it includes fish, birds, lizards, bugs, like anything that's not a plant.
Okay.
Anything
Fish.
that's not a plant. So like my point is that yes,
I didn't mean to make Jeff mad.
Whatever it was, I don't think that it was not from the natural world per se, but it's still something that's outside of my ability to explain it. Therefore, like I don't know what I saw, and like I don't understand what's so horrific about saying about kind of like humorously joking around about yeah, I mean, it was probably fairies, it's just like a same thing, it's like it's a thing just like you say because it's a fun thing to say. It's not even like. It's not like you take it super seriously. I don't go around thinking every day like, oh my god, I saw fairies. It's like why are fairies real? I don't give a shit. I mean, it was just something I saw one morning outside of her apartment. I never saw it again, and I've never seen anything like it since then. I never saw anything like it before. So, I had an unusual experience. So, I mean, some people
remember where I used to
by
live
aliens in the butt. So.
Yeah, I remember where I used to live the night that the cops were chasing a unknown object in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And they
really?
those
we hear about that.
Well, a lot of people saw it. It was I think. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh no! Finish your story, please.
Oh, okay. but they were actually trailing it in their cars, trying to figure out what it was because all you saw was the blinking lights and no noise. You know, it was at nighttime. Now, being from a military background,
Yeah.
I almost suspect it was one of our inventions.
Yeah, yeah.
If I had to guess,
I think the same thing. Yeah.
because as
I saw.
fast as
I
they
saw.
swept it under
I
the
saw it.
rug,
Out in Texarkana, I saw a very large. It must have been a military drone flying next to like we're on one of the overpass bridges, and I looked over
yeah,
kind of in the sky. And it was kind of like hard to see, but like it was still clear. You could see the clear shape. And it was huge, but it was like too small to be for a human piloted plane. And like we weren't out anywhere like where like I don't have no idea why they would have military drones out there testing around, but like I saw it clear as day, like right next to the car. Like it was freaky too. But I'll tell you something. You know what's a far creepier thing than the fairy thing, or something that's far crazier, and something that I could actually confirm was real in every single way. A friend of mine caught. We were out at his house, and he just thought it was hilarious. He was like, he went outside and put a Tupperware jar over the largest hornet I've ever seen in my life. A hornet that was, I swear, about 3 times larger than a hummingbird.
Oh god, it was a
Oh yeah,
dinosaur.
The
I
stinger on it,
remember this.
the stinger on it was like this long. It was the most terrifying thing in my life before that point. I did not know that hornets could ever get that big. That was like, to me, that was more supernatural than the fairy thing. Like that was a genetically
Maybe your
modified
experience of the
hornet,
world
you
is
know?
just more limited than you realize. And
I've looked online for pictures of the biggest hornets, and like I've never found one this big. This thing was massive. It was massive. I mean, it would look like. I mean, it looked like if it stung you, you would definitely die. It looked like it would like. It looked like it had a fucking
I've
stingray tail
seen
on it,
big
man.
hornets.
I've seen big hornets too. I've never seen one that filled an entire Tupperware container this big, like this big, Tupperware container that big. I mean, it was like the full length of it. Oh my god! And it was still alive. It was still alive. They had it in there, and they were like shaking around. It was mad. And it was trying to get it. It was trying to get out. They finally shook it enough where I guess it knocked it out or
Something's
died.
echoing. There's an echo. Something's echoing.
Oh well, you know. Hey, maybe I'm speaking too loud that it's coming through my earbuds. I don't know. It shouldn't be, but.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, like as I said, you weren't here, but I looked up how many new species of animal life, and that includes insects, fish, birds, whatever. 18,000 new species are discovered every year, Jeff. So I mean, I'm saying that yes,
I'm sure
I think
that's
it was
what it
probably,
was. I'm sure it was the least probable explanation than the more probable. I'm sure on the range of likely explanations, I'm sure it was a new species. After
or
the
a species
fairy.
a species that could have been discovered by now. But I mean, I'm just saying. But like, why is that? Okay, if there's 18,000 new species discovered every year, you're saying that that's an unlikely scenario?
Yeah. That in the hierarchy of probable explanations, I'm saying it's way lower in the hierarchy than something like it's a bird or a bug that you just happen to not know about. But there's something about you, and maybe it's the writer's way that draws you to those kind of like those explanations are the ones that you push to the top. Something attractive about them.
I can't explain it. I haven't seen anything.
Therefore, I'm going to pick these explanations from the more improbable end of the scale and pump those.
I researched to try to find it. I researched to try to find a scientific explanation for it, and I'm not saying there isn't one. I'm saying I haven't found it. I'm saying I'm not aware of it. And I fully believe that it's probably out there. I simply haven't found it yet. It doesn't mean, but at the same time, for my brain, because I can't find the explanation, I'm not like assuming that it's something that it's simply that there is no evidence that it was that is just as silly to me as assuming that it's a fairy. Just assuming that, well, it's just some dumb bird is just as silly as saying like, oh, it's a fairy.
Wait, are you seriously saying it's equally as silly to assume it's an animal than a fairy, like a natural thing that we know exists than a fairy?
I'm saying that it's more likely a bird or an animal, but at
I
the
would
same time,
say it's like
but you could
99% likely that it's a natural creature, and fairy would be like 0.0001%. And you
once again,
have them at
my
about
point
50-50.
before was
That is what
whatever.
I knew there was something that was
My
drawing me
point
down this line of
My
questioning, and I
point
think I
was, in
found
the
it.
first place,
Boy,
that
a panel fight. Yeah, I'm glad I joined.
whatever we define as a quote unquote fairy, if such a thing
Me and my
exists,
big
and I doubt
mouth.
it does, if such a thing exists, and I doubt that it does, but if such a thing exists, is that it is a natural thing. It is a natural animal that is simply not, that we simply haven't discovered
So the
that
fairy
people have
itself
seen.
would be an animal,
Yes,
but not
of
a
course it would
little
be.
tiny humanoid flying around like Tinkerbell.
Not really, but it might resemble something similar to that.
Though.
It might have a
There
shape.
could be little
No, I
tiny
said it could
people
have.
that we haven't
I said it
discovered.
could
Wait a
have
minute,
a
I've
shape
seen
like one. I said it
Tinkerbell.
could be shaped like one. Dear God, man! I'm saying it could be shaped like one.
It
You
can
don't know
be
what
an
like.
organism shaped like a tiny humanoid
Yes.
Okay, like
that we just haven't
there's.
discovered yet. But
Have
it's
you ever seen this?
perfectly
Have you ever seen
shaped
the?
like a Homo sapiens, but it's a different
You ever seen a
species
death's
of
head
organism.
moth? You ever seen a death's head moth that has like an almost exact replica of a human skeleton, a skull on the back
Yeah,
of
but
it?
I don't
I
mistake
mean,
that for a humanoid.
no,
That's
I'm just
clearly a
saying,
moth.
I'm saying that things in nature can
Well,
have
they were too
humanoid
little
type
to be
shapes.
human.
We have
And
the Linnaean system of classification, so it's either going to be a bird, it's going to be an insect, or it could be like a tiny mammal, a humanoid mammal species that with wings that's flying around that we haven't discovered
I
yet.
did not say that it was
It
a
was a
humanoid
drone.
species. I did not say it was a humanoid species. I said I thought it was an animal of some sort that I have not been able to find.
How do fairies keep coming into it then? I don't understand
because
why
it's
not
fun.
just, oh, I saw
Because
this
it's
weird
fun. Because
animal
it's
that
fun.
I've never
It's fun
seen
to say.
before and I
It's
don't know
fun to
what it
say.
is.
It's fun to say it looked like a fairy.
That's what most people would say, but you're like, I saw this weird animal or maybe a fairy that I don't know what it is. And like, I don't understand why the fairy part gets thrown in, other than that it's fun and it makes life more interesting.
Yeah, it's a more entertaining story, Jeff. That's why. It's because it's a more entertaining story.
But you're
than just
talking about it like it's like you're very invested in this as reality. You're not telling it as a story.
I'm
You're
not
like,
actually.
I'm
moved
curious.
on.
I
I moved
want to
on
know
from the
what this
story.
is.
At
I
this
did all
point,
this really
at this
happened.
point, I'm
It's
just
not
pissed at
coming
you because
across
you
as,
just won't
hey,
stop
let
yelling
me
at me
tell
about
you a
this for
fun
like when I was
story
just
to
trying to tell an
entertain
entertaining
you.
story.
Yelling.
Then
I was
I
just
I
trying
didn't
to tell
hear
an
no
entertaining
yelling.
story, man. Like there's no reason for you to get this fucking upset about it. I'm just like,
I'm not
I was just like,
upset at all.
dude, you are. But you're like
I'm
mocking
quite
me.
amused by
But you're
it. And quite,
mocking me, and like,
I'm not
and it's
mocking
really,
you.
it's
I'm
yes,
trying
you
to
are.
understand.
You are
No.
100%
You get the
mocking me.
fairy. We could talk about anything else. I don't have to talk like this.
Yeah,
This
please.
is not.
I'm saying like I don't understand why you feel the need to mock me over something because
I'm
I
not
made
mocking
a
you. How am I mocking you? What am I mocking you
It
about?
sounds like you're mocking.
Well, then it's subjective. So if you subjectively feel like you're being mocked now, let's move on to some other topic where it reduces the chance of you feeling that way. Because I'm not treating you any different than I would any person telling this story. That's catching my attention, and there's so many like little moments of dissonance and disconnects that I do that with everybody here. Everybody that tells
You're
me
running it through
the
the
minute it
special
doesn't make sense,
logic.
I challenge it. When have you not seen me do that? So I'm not doing anything different with this story than I would do with anybody else's. Unless I've just made up my mind that they're a troll or a cuckoo and I'm just humoring them. Then those are the rare moments where I won't jump in and I'll just let them talk.
You're just dissecting with logic.
Yeah, apparently that's okay. St. Patrick's Day, let's have fun. No more logic. It's a more Dionysian
logic bad
holiday. So let's just have fun and
Chuck,
not talk
Chuck, I'm not saying logic was
stuff
bad.
that's
I
talking
being illogical.
No, I was
I've been stigmatized my entire life because my logical side is disruptive and interferes with everybody else around me. So this is a touchy thing with me. Because this comes naturally to me, this logical way of thinking. And in some areas, it can be a strength. But apparently, socially, it's not. And I get stigmatized for it over and over and over. It's not that it's nerdy or autistic or spurgy. It's that it actually causes emotional distress and conflict in interpersonal relationships when I'm trying to do something basic as be rational about something.
I feel like you were stigmatizing me.
I would like to move on myself from this topic
Okay,
'Cause this bringing
I'm
up a
just saying,
bunch
like,
of shit with
you're
me.
saying you're feeling stigmatized, but I feel like you were stigmatizing me as being like, some nutty, like, person that they just think that
It
thinks
was
that
a
like,
little nutty to think that something you saw in the yard was fair, like to automatically like think that that is an attractive explanation for it. That's why it caught my attention because this is the first time since I've known you that I ever thought that you thought you saw fairies. And it was just so casual, like, yeah, let me tell you the time I saw fairies, and I'm like,
I was just
and
trying to tell
Dahlia's
an
saying the
entertaining
same
story.
thing, so we can move on. I think we should move on. It's not worth. This is not productive conflict to fight over a fairy story.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Chuck, what are you cooking? Oh, you said the cabbage stuff.
Yeah, I gotta get my.
I do like a good cooked cabbage whenever when it's done with the right spices and like the right
Yeah, you just can't cook a
where
plain
it's
cabbage and expect good
yeah
flavor.
like
You
it
gotta use
like it
some butter, garlic,
yeah definitely
uh,
definitely.
some
And
onion.
not to cook it too long either. Like it depends on what you want. I mean, some people like it kind of mushy, but like I like it. I like when it's still kind of firm, when it's still got like some firmness to it. So like
Yeah,
I
a
like
lot
the
of
roast
times I
cabbage
like
too.
to fry cabbage too.
Oh yeah, fried cabbage is
Fried
good.
cabbage. Oh, they
Yeah,
had
in
I've had
bacon grease,
barbecue lettuce
Or
before, but not
fried
fried cabbage.
Brussels sprouts are great to fry because they're basically tiny little cabbages.
barbecue lettuce. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, this restaurant in New Orleans. It's the is it the leaf or the iceberg? The long kind of lighter colored
What's that?
lettuce.
What's that
And you cut it in
sausage they
half and you
use
put it on
down
the
there,
barbecue
Jeff?
grill. Huh?
What's that sausage they use down there in Louisiana?
Andouille?
Yeah, I eat that and I get sick. I can't
It's
eat
spicy.
andouille.
It's
Is that
spicy.
what it is?
Well, whatever
Uh,
seasons they put in
Yeah,
it.
because I can eat just about anything, but
You ever
that
had
and
haggis?
Polish sausage kill me.
Uh,
You ever had haggis?
No,
no.
thank you. I'll pass.
It's
That
actually
stuff
really
looks.
good. It's actually really good. And
It
like
looks
I didn't.
disgusting.
It does look disgusting and it sounds disgusting, but it tastes really good. So
It sure
It
does.
just like people to eat head cheese.
yeah, don't get
Ugh.
me wrong. Oh, that's disgusting to me too. And that's disgusting enough for me, like to like not even be able to like if I knew what I was like
Yep.
maybe if I didn't know what I was eating first, and like and see like now I'm not the kind of person that would like that would be like really enjoying something and then like find out what it was and they'd spit it out or something like that. Instead, I would be like, okay, well I guess I like this now. But if I knew about it beforehand, unless it was like unless somebody said it was like a puppy or something like that, then I would probably be really disgusted. I don't think I could keep going after that. But like it's just something that just like normally would just sound kind of gross to me. Like I would just be like like I remember like that it was like a joke in like cartoons and stuff when I was growing up. Like somebody like eating something like this is really good, and somebody tell them it was something like really like tame like shark or something like that. They'd be like they'd be like gross. I was thinking well if it tasted good, why would you stop eating it? Like like it's
Did
just a
Leah
shark,
come
right?
up
Yeah.
today?
No, she didn't. She said she's gonna go.
Well, she got dog piled on your show, and then later on she got dog piled.
She made a video about people not liking her.
Yeah,
Dog
What
color
and
happened
and
on
I
my
understand.
show?
on our show?
Oh
Yeah,
my God, short.
Oh, I
Sorry, I
wasn't
was.
here yesterday, so I must have missed a lot.
I
'Cause even
didn't. I didn't notice
even
anything on,
Jack
on our show in particular out of the ordinary. And then she went on
even
some other
well
panel
well,
last
Denizen was
night. That what
quite
panel was she on last night?
overpowering. Um, uh,
Anyway, she went on a
well
panel last
Flow
night and
State.
had an even more intense experience. And then she made a video
Yeah,
about. She
Flow
was
State
talking
got
about
out of jail, so YouTube jail,
he was in
Oh,
jail. Oh, he was in YouTube jail. I thought, like he went to
YouTube
jail for
jail.
real.
They reversed his strike, I guess, and she went on there, and it was her against 9 guys, and it didn't. They just piled
oh,
on her
yeah.
because they were doing the same thing Denizen did yesterday. Ask a question and then not giving her time to respond, and it just kept
Andrew
rapid
was doing
fire.
that too. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, what? I'm trying to understand. So when I ask, it's because I'm trying to listen, take in information, and then assimilate it to the existing information. So I notice in a lot of these debates, the Crucible and these people, everything, they ask questions, but they don't really want the answer. I don't like the asking of the question is not to
They
understand
got
the
the
information. It's
they got
some
the
other
answer in
purpose
their
that I
head
don't
already.
understand.
Yeah, they asked the question.
Why
The
would you
question is
ask
part
a
of like is
question?
because like they're not really asking. They're using the
They
question
think they're smart.
as a form of
Gotcha.
accusation. It's like
Yes.
it's a gotcha thing. They ask the question
It's
because
like
they don't
that, like
expect
when
an answer
Lindsay
back.
went and asked Machine that stuff. It wasn't really a question.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Yeah, exactly like
it
that. Yeah.
was. It just wasn't done with the most finesse.
Oh,
Or the most
And that
probably not in good faith
and that
either. But yeah.
yeah, that should have been done behind the scenes as opposed to on camera. You know.
Yeah, I completely believe, tell you that. Yeah, that's for sure.
And I could understand if somebody didn't know Snafu, which apparently she didn't at the time, being goaded or sucked in by what he's saying and taking that as a bit of truth. But yeah, I'm surprised Talcott didn't catch more hell yesterday for having Ben Thorpe on his show
for doing what? Oh yeah, I saw that.
and acted like everything was just hunky dory, even though
Who's that? Who's that again?
He is Ben Thorpe. He's panel poison to me. I won't have anything. In fact, I was on when me and Andrew were debating. Andrew did me the biggest favor because when I lost that debate, as I was leaving, Ben Thorpe was coming on, and if I had won that debate, I would have stayed on the panel. There's no way I'm going to be on a panel with Ben Thorpe.
I guess I don't want. I didn't even want to know who it is. Then that's fine.
No,
Ben and Grace Thorpe, the guy that kicked his.
Great. Now, see, I know the name Grace Thorpe.
Okay.
Now, okay. I didn't recognize the name Ben Thorpe. Okay, yeah. Now,
in fact, I don't even want to talk about him on my channel.
No, yeah,
no,
I don't either. I'm sorry. My
okay,
but he was on Talcott's. I was a little surprised, more than a little surprised to see, and I turned it off when I saw him on there.
No,
it's a good thing you did.
I don't. I maybe it's bias or whatever, and I don't even care. But I lose a little bit of respect for people that even let Thorpe on a panel.
And he was trying to.
I don't
he
think
got
he's
up there
contributing anything positive to this culture. We're trying to create.
He was up there trying to be godly, talking about not godly, but talking
he's an abuser.
About
that short little 30-second clip of him kicking his daughter. It showed mental abuse, psychological
we're
abuse,
talking about
verbal abuse, emotional
let's
abuse, physical, all the types of abuse in that one little clip.
I know, but like, we said we weren't going to talk about it, and we're sitting here talking about him. So let's get him out of our mouth here. I was told though, like I even got a message from Neurojack late last night. It said like that sure was some interesting stream you had there today, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like I couldn't even listen to it because like the weather was so bad. And he never got back to me, so like I have no idea like what he was talking about. But it was very like implied that like some shit went down the stream, and like I forgot to ask.
I remembered this part. I saw this. I tuned in for a little while. I was browsing the streams last night, but I didn't think anything of it. It did. None of this looked like anything I haven't seen on panels before, and not even the worst extreme versions of it. So it didn't register on my brain at all as anything out of the ordinary.
But she's not used to it. Is the thing.
Well, part of it is people finding the environments that fit with their level of comfort,
like you were saying earlier. Yes.
Because a lot of like debates that don't go on the Crucible. If you want to just like sit around and chat, go on Flows or Cynthia's. Like there's different panels for different wants. Yeah, and it's just learning what you're looking for in a stream and finding the streams that can give that. But like if I was just looking for a relaxed conversational stream, Flows is not one I would go on expecting.
Yeah, I wouldn't go on Flows. I mean, Flow like let people pay to kick you off and stuff like that. I wouldn't go on a Flow.
Well,
if you don't get your Flow's not a good place to go.
For a while, he had a good smooth flow going. Pardon the pun. But then the craziness moved in. The panel drama moved in.
But wasn't that getting clicked? Like wasn't
That's what was getting clicks. Yeah, it was getting views. It was raising his views up. The same reason I think
I thought the
TML.
same thing, and everybody
The
kept
same reason
telling me, "No,
TML
look at the
let
numbers.
the
There's a
trolls take over his
reason
panel.
people are indulging this."
Oh yeah, people love controversy. Let's watch this train wreck as long as I'm not part of it.
I just don't understand. I understand like people liking controversy. I understand people liking drama. I don't understand like why people like listening to people screaming all at the same time where you can't understand anything anyone's saying. And that's what most of those streams turn into. And like that's what I don't understand. I don't
Cynthia's the other night, right?
I don't see the appeal of that at all.
Which one?
Cynthia's the other night when we were on there.
Well, she had a lot of strong vocal personalities, like Paula Slaved and Flo, and who else was on?
Joe.
So it only takes 2 or 3 people like that to dominate a panel, and they were all passionate about what they were saying, talking at the same time for hours. There was almost no way to. She did the best she could, but I think anybody would have had a hard time.
Oh yeah,
facilitating that stream that night.
Yeah, because you had Joe that was
although I do wish
Paul,
that StreamYard had a raised hand icon like Zoom does. That would help a lot. But people can like visually raise their hand too.
Well, the problem is if you mute them, they can unmute themselves on StreamYard. So they don't even bother to do this.
That is one thing that Streamlabs has over StreamYard that I've been noticing. Like you have a lot more control. You can really control you can really truly mute somebody, and like they can't unmute themselves. They can't do anything.
Because if I have to keep muting someone, I'm just gonna kick them off the panel. Like
yeah, of course, yeah.
I'm not gonna like struggle with somebody over the mute button.
Well, I even managed to get kicked again off of Flo's last night.
Oh, he did. Wow.
Well,
is that a surprise to anyone? Is that surprising?
He said something stupid, and Flo warned him, and then he turned right around and was going to make a big presentation on why he said what he said was okay. And Flo said, "No, we're not even going to discuss it. Let's just let it go." And I5 says, "But listen," that's when Flo cut him off. He said, "I'm not doing it."
Good for him. Flo.
I don't want to strike.
That actually I mean I not that I had like a low opinion of Flo, but that raises my opinion of Flo by like a few several reputation points. I give him a lot of rep for being willing.
And I've seen him do that to a few people that get too controversial.
Well, I've also seen Flo kick people off just because he's annoyed by them and didn't like him. Even and when they weren't even doing anything, they weren't even being annoying.
I'm the same way. This is
no. I'm
totally at my whim. If anybody irritates me or gives me any reason,
but I'm talking about like the people that were literally just came on, they'd be nice or something like be like just be like I don't feel like talking to you right now. You just like kick him off. He's just being a dick. He can just be a dick to people sometimes, and like I don't like that.
He was a dick to me. I've seen him be. A dick. It just depends. Whatever mood he's in that night. I don't know what chemicals.
A lot of people have been a dick to you, Jeff.
Chuck, welcome to my life. Like this, even my family, like even growing up. So I've always that happens with us. If you're too different or stand out too much in the wrong way, then you will catch that kind of attention.
It's
negative attention. I don't even have to.
It's like there's the two sayings. There's like the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? But then there's also the squeaky wheel that also gets replaced with another wheel too sometimes. So it's like whenever you stand ahead above everybody
the tall
else.
Tall poppy center. That's what it is. Tall poppy.
Yeah, the tall poppy thing. Yeah,
I mean, the thing I always try to remember is I'm not no smarter than anybody else I come in communication with.
Yeah,
me too.
Me too. That's part of the problem, and you get a big ego from that.
From what?
Being smarter.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I try not to.
I used to think like that.
I try not to too, but it asserts itself.
I used to be that way too, but then life has taught me that no matter how smart I've ever been, and no matter how many smart things I have done or said, I can be just as much of an idiot as anybody else in the right situation. So,
yep.
I mean, it's situational. Like, I mean, I mean, you can be in general a highly intelligent person, but it doesn't mean. Hold on a second. Sorry.
Yeah, even when I think I'm not, like, because a lot of times I'll get the impression of what, like, I'm good at patterns. So I'll see a pattern, I'll be like, okay, this is what's going to happen in this situation. And then even when I think I'm wrong, I'm like, well, maybe not. Maybe you don't know all the facts. Maybe don't get too cocky. And it ends up happening exactly like
Yeah, it
I
does.
thought it
I
would.
mean,
And even
every
when I
now and then,
try to be like not think I'm smart, I still end up being right. So all of that reinforces
every
that.
now and then, I do my faith in people does work out and actually show to be worth it every now and then. But 9 times out of 10, my faith in people is usually met um with nothing but punishment. Basically, I have been punished for believing in people way more times than I've been rewarded for it. I'll say that much. Like for giving people the benefit of the doubt, for going out on a limb for people and like vouching for people, things like that. I have more times than that has like been a positive experience. It has been like 9 out of 10 times have been a very negative experience. Where that makes me want to like hate humanity and like become a nihilist and shit like that. So like I get it, but there's this part of me that just the rebellious part of me that just refuses to actually like just become a full cynic because I'm just like at the same time I'm like, but why should I change because they're the ones that suck, you know? Just because I think that's the better way to be is to be the kind of person that has like faith in people and even though it gets me it's causing me a lot of grief. I feel like it's like that then they win. The shitty people win if
But
I just
all
turn
of
into if
that,
I just
that is
become them.
all this story you have going on in your head, like your own little psychodrama movie, like your mind movie. That is your mind movie. And you could always turn it into any other narrative
I
because you
guess
don't know what's in their
it's a
head. So it's just the
it's
story you're
my
telling yourself
perspective.
about what's in their head.
Well, no, but I'm not talking about what's in people's heads. I'm talking about the actions they've done to me. I'm talking about
Right, but
actions
it's
that have
what
been
you're
taken.
inferring from the action. Is like
How do
when you're
you
describing the
infer?
psychology behind the action.
How what else do you infer about someone who you invite into you let
It
like let,
doesn't
let, let
matter. It doesn't matter what else I infer. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying it's unfalsifiable. So it's just a narrative you're telling yourself. And because it exists in the form of a narrative that you yourself have control over, you can make the narrative be anything. And then that will affect the experience that you're having from that narrative. Because it's not based on anything that you can falsify. Just like with J6, everyone's going to have a different narrative because there's no way to know for certain if it was an insurrection because there's no way to definitively determine that. There's no authority
okay.
that can do that.
So
So you're left
like
with this like lack of closure and you're left with just narrative.
you meet someone or someone you've known for a long time and like they're in a bad spot and you say like, hey, you can come stay at my house for a couple of days, and they're there, and then you wake up one morning and they've stolen half your shit and you're saying like that's just a narrative I'm telling myself.
No,
That's what I'm
the
talking.
event
That's the
is
kind of
not the narrative. These the psychological and mental circumstances around it are. You don't know why they stole your shit, or your shit was stolen. That's all you know. You don't know what was in their head, or what they were thinking when they started, why they did it, or what they thought about you, or anything. All that is narrative because you
okay.
can't
Yeah,
ever
I suppose you
confirm
could
any
argue.
of it
I
definitively.
suppose you could argue that about anything. You could argue that any murderer thought that when
Yeah,
they killed their
I
wife
can and I
was.
do, and we have an entire legal and justice system that does exactly that. So
I
yes, you're
know,
right.
but
that's why I do this. But if like again,
if your
I feel like I'm
explanation
hitting that
is
tension
that I
point where it's not welcome. It's perfectly normal to me. It's perfectly normal for our system. But when I try to do it on the stream, it's not welcome.
what are you talking? It's not welcome. Like I didn't say it wasn't welcome. I'm just saying like, but in a situation like that's that cut and dry. I don't see how there's anything to like.
It's like you have this really like not superficial, but knee jerk, like an initial. You put together this initial version of the world really quickly that you get locked into, and when I start to challenge it or analyze it or look at it closely and express what I see or questions that it raises, then all of a sudden I'm this person that's, what did you say I was doing earlier? Mocking you, or like it has this negative effect or
Well,
experience.
I didn't feel like you were mocking me then. But earlier it came across very much like you were mocking me. You were saying that like I was being like some like, you know,
Well,
just
I
like,
wasn't, and I'm having the same experience now. Like when I'm trying to find out more about this story and question it, I'm getting the same, like I'm doing something bad.
no, I'm just saying I just don't see what else you can what else you can infer from someone
But
that you trust
that's
enough
what
to
I'm
let into
saying.
your
You
house.
do. You an event happens, you interpret it, you get locked into that interpretation, and you can't see how anybody can have any other interpretation. Like when we challenge your interpretation that you're so certain, then we become the person that you don't see how like there's any other possible explanation but yours, which you've put together very quickly based on like whatever your initial intuition or imaginative impression is. And then when somebody challenges it, because we didn't come to your initial version of the events, we see different possibilities for those events. We're somehow the aberrant one.
Why would you need, what's the cause in needing to come up with a different version of events of someone
We're
stealing
looping
it?
right now. I don't think you're even getting my point, and I feel like I'm not expressing it well myself because I'm trying to articulate it live.
I'm just confused, honestly. I'm just genuinely confused about your point. I don't understand what the point you're trying to make is.
Okay, well
Like,
then I'm
just
confused
like,
too at this point.
yeah, because I feel like it's like, you know, like, so if a guy, like, you know, shoots his wife and he says like, I'm sure she was a demon.
Well, then we should not have a court system. We should just assume that if somebody shoots their wife, the initial superficial explanation is the right one. Why should there even be a system to question any of it or raise doubts or challenge any points of it? The way things seem should absolutely be the way they are. We should just take it as that way and not even have a system for questioning any of it. So if you think you saw fairies, then that's what you saw. If you think the person stole your stuff for this reason, then that's exactly why they stole your stuff. There shouldn't be any system for getting at a deeper level of truth beyond surface impressions.
What good reason would there be for someone to steal someone else's things so that they let in the house? Well, what's the good reason for that?
Are you so limited in your mind that you think there can only be one reason somebody would do something, that there's not a range of reasons somebody might do? You yourself have stolen for reasons that
there could be multiple reasons, but I mean, I'm saying.
So
but
when
like,
you get locked into one reason and then you plant your flag there and you say, what other reason could this be? You're the dumb one. You can't see that this is the reason. You want to come up with all these other reasons. Why would there be all these other reasons? This one reason is obviously the one. That's what it feels like you're doing.
I didn't ascribe a reason to it, though. I never did.
You did. You just asked me what other reason would there be? If there's not one reason you're ascribing to, why would there need to be an other reason in contrast to that?
I'm trying to understand what reason you're thinking that there is, and I never even said a reason in the first place. But like you're saying, there's clearly another reason, even though I didn't say there's a reason. So I'm saying it's like, what reason is it that you see?
This started out, and I have to go back in the stream to see. It started out with you talking about helping this person. And then this happening. I'm saying a lot of what you're saying happen is inference from their actions. You don't actually know that that's what they were thinking or that that's what was in their head. Philosophically, determining motivation is very, very difficult. It's difficult for human to know what's it. We have an entire
I agree with that, but I didn't infer motivation. All I said was that
as close as it can to determining that.
Still a betrayal.
Even it is imperfect. We have philosophical systems.
Is it a betrayal of trust? Is it a betrayal of trust to do that, though?
To do what?
To if I invite you into my house to, like, because you needed a place to stay for a couple of days, and then you steal most of my things, is that not a betrayal of my trust? I'm not talking about the reason behind it, but
I can throw one in. I kind of see where you're coming from, Chris.
Because I'm not saying a reason. I'm just saying that the action was a betrayal of my trust.
The feeling was betrayal of trust. I understand that because I've been there myself.
Is the action not a betrayal of trust?
It depends because trust. First of all, betrayal is very like a sense of betrayal is very subjective, and people could feel that over anything. And what trust is unless it's like a written contract and it's very clear that one person violated the terms, even what constitutes trust, like the thing that's being betrayed, can be murky and fuzzy and subjective.
Okay,
But
so
yes, I agree. If I invited someone into my house and they took my shit, I would feel like the trust, like I trusted them not to do that, just as a default assumption of a friendship or acquaintanceship. So if they did it, I would feel like some kind of unspoken version of trust was betrayed. If that's what you were talking about.
yes, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, Dahlia, we run across this on the stream a lot. Chris has a writer's brain, and he tends to come up with and get attached to the more imaginative lines of thought, and I tend to be artistic and very detail and concrete oriented. I like to look at
that's where I feel like you're
the parts
stigmatizing
that I
me.
can see and touch,
I
that
feel
I can like
feel like that's
attach
very
to something
stigmatizing.
that's grounded in reality.
See, I feel like that's very stigmatizing. You keep saying it's because I have a writer's brain or something like that, and I wasn't even talking about what you're saying.
I'm
I was talking
addressing
about.
this. I'm going to end the stream today. I'm addressing this comment from Dahlia right here, and we have talked about your writer's brain, which was your term for it. I didn't originate it, over and over and over on this stream. So I don't know why suddenly today. That's what I'm talking about. Like today, for some reason, everything that is completely normal for me that I've done 100,000 times is suddenly something negative. Like suddenly using the phrase writer's brain, it's like the woke. Like all of a sudden, today's the day where the word writer's brain has been problematized and now acquired the status of stigmatizing. Whereas, and there's no way to have predicted that from all the other hundreds of times you and I have used that word on the stream. But today, for some reason, it is now stigmatizing. The phrase writer's brain is now stigmatizing. How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to have seen that coming? So I think
I don't know. I don't know.
there's something weird happening on the stream today. I cannot figure it out.
It feels like you're being
It could be
hypercritical of
related
me.
to
It feels like you're being
neurodivergence. It
hypercritical.
could be related to like our biorhythm, whatever. Like I don't know. Whatever you're reacting to, I'm not intending. And I feel like I can't say or do anything right today that's not impacting you in some way, but the things I'm doing today are no different than any other day on the stream. So I don't know what I'm doing different that's having this reaction. And so for that reason, because we're in this confusion, I don't want to risk damaging anything. So let's just end.
I mean, like, well,
Okay.
you don't need to end the stream. Like, I can drop off. It's all right. I mean,
It
it's not a
just
big
keeps
deal.
happening. It's like the
Oh.
third time it's happened.
Oh.
We get in an hour. I'm trying to change the topic. I just don't. These kind of communication breakdowns happen with me all the time. I always assume they're because of the audio, like something about my perception or
And
there's
writer's
something I'm
brain is
contributing
not
to
a
it, but I never know. Like I never know for sure they happen all the time randomly with people that they've never happened for years. They'll suddenly start happening. They'll happen on
writer's brain
jobs,
is not
coworkers or
derogatory.
supervisors, just out of the blue.
It only it's not derogatory. No, you're right. It's not derogatory in general. It's just, but whenever I mean, I wasn't ascribing motivation or anything to this. What I was talking about, I was simply talking about the fact that we've all been screwed over by people because we put faith in people sometimes, and I and like they betray trust, and like they do things that are overtly harmful. They I guess they break the the do no harm principle, like the
The
principle of not
non-aggression pact
the non-aggression pact
principle.
kind of thing. They break that non-aggression pact, and like they'll take off. They don't speak to you anymore. Like obviously like they take off with your things or whatever the case might be. That's just one example. Um, but I'm not saying like yes, like their reason for doing so could have been because you know um, they had like I don't know, like they had someone was in the hospital and they felt like they had to steal my things to pay for some, or something. Like you could come up with 1,000 possible reasons that could have motivations that could have gone through their head. It still doesn't like change the fact that they without any indication they were
Well,
going to do so would still violated that non-aggression principle. Um,
on that
that
same
that
principle, when I've ran into those problems, some of the situations, not all of them, but when I've gone back and looked at them, the fact was I was wearing blinders. When I went back and reanalyzed it, I knew the type of person they were, and then they did me wrong, and my initial reaction was, how dare they? But then when I went back and looked and realized I knew the type of person they was, did I expect anything different?
Mhm.
well,
That makes sense?
I mean, in some cases that has been true, but not in
Yeah,
like
I
in
didn't
like
say
the most.
all. I didn't say
Yeah,
all.
in my most recent encounters like that, it's not been the case. But yeah, I agree that does happen sometimes.
And like my brother was, one of my brothers was the nicest guy in the world, unless he was doing drugs. Then the world didn't exist other than for him to get money to feed the habit. And it didn't matter where it came from, friends, family, strangers, without any thought whatsoever. They just, he just wanted money for the drugs. That's all he saw. Now, when he wasn't on the drugs, totally different person. And I'm not justifying it or anything. Wrong is wrong in my book.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I understand that as a principle, as a like it is sometimes important to see to look at
And I'm not
people.
using it for a cop out either, because we do get hurt by people when we're trying to be of the utmost help to them, and then they turn around and stab us in the back. It does hurt. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
I wasn't. I was like, that's why I don't understand where the argument came from because I wasn't even touching on their possible motivation or whether or not they were drug addicts or anything like that. I mean, in the particular example I might have been thinking of, they weren't that I know of, but they could have been, I guess. I mean, there could have been 1,000 reasons that they did what they
Well,
did.
yeah, you were in general terms, and Jeff was trying to get into the more specifics to understand what was going on. I think I could be wrong. I'm not going to speak for Jeff. He's got big
Perhaps so.
boy pants.
Speak
I
for what?
certainly.
I'm back.
Oh, I was telling Chris. I said Chris gave a general synopsis of his situation. All I was saying was you were just asking more questions to figure out more information as opposed to just a general feeling or statement. You was trying to understand it, and it kind of went sideways. And that's when I said, "Well,
When
I don't want
things
to
don't
speak for
make sense
Jeff."
to me, I ask questions, or when they catch my mind a certain way, or when I notice little points of disconnect or discontinuity, or any like
Yeah,
I
you want more
ask questions.
clarity.
I've been like that since I was a kid. Like if you don't like that people like that or that, but then I'm not the person to be around because it's so much a part.
You were trying to get more clarity of the whole situation.
Yeah, like when someone tells me I thought I saw fairies. Yeah, that's gonna make me ask questions. And when and the thing about letting somebody in and they steal your stuff. Like any story you tell me, if there's parts of I don't know why all of it's an issue. I don't think I'm doing anything different. It might be mood, like Ragnar said. I'm not good with moods. I don't really
Well, didn't you score a 5 or something you said in that department
on moods.
or something? You said you scored real low out of 100.
Oh,
You
in
scored,
politeness, I scored a 12.
oh, lightness.
Yeah,
That's because you got that analytical mind.
I know,
You
but I
put
don't. It seems like
you
it's a
put the
liability. It's ruining
well,
all my
yeah,
relationships.
you put your feelings aside, and the analytical side kicks in, and you just want clarity to try to figure out the situation. It's not a bad thing. It's just not everybody's wired the same.
I know, but
Nobody
the
is.
only thing that's throwing me is why all of a sudden after like a year is it an issue? Like that's one of the things that that's one of the things I do. That's one of the things the stream is even for. So all of a sudden today it's like it's just it's discordant, disruptive. That's the only thing getting me about it is what's different about today? Because when I look at the pattern, there's nothing about today that seems different than any other stream we've done the past year. But for some reason, it's having a different effect today or different impact today.
I can't answer that.
Yeah, me neither. So
I don't know.
That's between you and the Irish guy there.
I'm not Irish.
The green guy. We'll just say the green guy. There we
The
go.
green guy. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. The green guy. That's fine.
Oh, that's what it is. He's one of those reptile people.
the snake people,
Yeah.
well,
That's
we
probably
have
it.
what is it Celtic? Which snake people showed up today? Because Rance said they're Hindu, but were they Celtic or British? The ones you talked about.
I don't know. They're all snakes, so it doesn't matter, right? You
Well, okay.
know? I'm just joking. They're all slithery and they all go so, you know, like
Now, I went to Disney World and seen fairies.
I went to local gay bars, saw fairies.
Well, I've seen those down there too.
You talking about like Tinkerbell?
Both.
Fair.
the Tinkerbell variety and the kind you're talking about.
Oh yeah, they'd have both. Yeah, you would find both of those at Disney.
And trying to explain that to a little child is sometimes befuddling.
I remember, like growing up, you had the Magical World of Disney on Sunday nights, and they'd have Tinkerbell that would fly around the. I loved. I didn't care what the show because they'd show a different show every week. Sometimes it was a cartoon, sometimes it was like a Haley Mills movie, but no matter what they showed, you at least got a thrill from seeing Tinkerbell fly around the castle once a week and wave her little sparkly wand. And then if I didn't like the show, I could turn it off and do something else.
But you know, they're saying that's a Mandela thing now, right?
That there wasn't actually a Tinkerbell.
That she didn't fly around the castle on that.
Oh my god!
Opening,
okay, I gotta check this out. Then hang on.
On the opening segment of The Wonderful World of Disney.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's I could have sworn that was real too. But yeah, it's also not true that that Darth Vader said like, "No, I am your father." So you know.
This is gonna seriously disrupt my world.
I'm sorry.
It's not flying around that castle.
I can't remember which way they were arguing it. The Mandela people
fly around the castle. I'm watching it right now. I'm not going to show.
What I thought.
They have the castle. It has this video has every one of the openings from like the beginning till the present. And in my era in the 70s, they have the castle in the background, and she's kind of flitting in front of it. So she's not like flying around it, but she's flitting in front of it, and she's waving her wand, and it's making fireworks appear as she points her wand.
And then, if I remember right, when the show was getting ready to start, you got one last wand thing from her, didn't you? It's been a long time,
right? Like she like touches the wand at the screen or something.
Yeah, like a wand flick or something. But it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Well,
I don't know why these people want to crush my childhood memories for.
All right, I'm watching it now. There's lots of fireworks, way more color and fireworks than I expected. There's scenes of people at Disneyland dancing around. I didn't remember those. There's a dog, a little white dog walking on two legs. Is that Rudy Giuliani? There's Vegas. It looks like Vegas. Man, there's all kind of shit in this trailer I don't remember. Maybe there's a one. This is 1975. Maybe there's a later one.
You might have to go earlier than 75.
1979. That's the one. I bet that it's. Yeah. This is the one. Yeah, it's the one with the castle, and there's fireworks going off in the back, and she comes and she flies around in front of it and makes more fireworks with her wand. That's the one I remember. Okay, well, I'm glad we solved that. We like to cover all the hard-hitting stuff here on
yeah.
Right. That's the basic scientific, like skeptic, like suspend judgment until you have evidence. But a lot of time, and I think it's a brain. This is how they say how conspiracy theories work. There's something in our brains, or maybe some brains, probably all of our brains to a degree, that can't live with uncertainty. It just can't function. So it fills in with some, it just needs some story or narrative in there to make sense so that it can continue on and about its life. And so I think like I can live in, I don't have to know. Like if something's truly unknown, I can leave it unknown until it is known. I'm okay with having a question mark over something. But some people need to fill that question mark in with, and there's probably areas where I do that I'm not aware of. But for the most part, I'm okay with leaving something in doubt until we have more information. And so I don't necessarily need belief or faith. I either know something or I don't, and then it's unknown.
Yeah, it's just like when somebody types in chat or an email and they misspell words. Even though the word's misspelled, our brain substitutes the correct word in there.
Yeah.
Our brain is filling in the gaps. Because, you can go down a bunch of rabbit holes if you want. And you always end up empty-handed. I haven't seen a rabbit hole produce a rabbit yet.
Yeah.
Have you? I'm talking about on these conspiracy things.
Yeah, no. Well, some of them turn out to be real, but very rare. Like the ability to pull off a successful conspiracy is very rare on that scale, like on any kind of scale that would make it into our awareness. Probably on a little small local, like maybe a little small business or something. There might be a little conspiracy thing happening in the middle, but the kind that they're talking about, I err on the side of probably not true. That's why my principle is to be skeptical until I have a reason not to be.
There's no doubt that Mr. The guy that used to be in charge of what the hell was it? Not FDA, the CDC or whatever outfit. You know how I'm talking about.
Starts with an F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been enough evidence to come out. What a clown show. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I know you can't say anything about
he was in up to his neck on that mess. Now, was the whole thing a master plot? No. I don't believe it was. But I could be wrong. How you doing, Wildheart?
Cheers. Yeah, good to see you.
Cheers.
You do. Where are you from? Where are you with your accent?
The UK, England, Manchester.
So y'all have St. Patrick's there then? Do y'all do, or is that because it's Irish? Do the British do it still?
Kind of, but ironically, I think it's actually a bigger thing in America.
And even over there.
In Ireland, yeah, but in England, not so much. I think the Americans make a kind of bigger deal of it than in England for some reason. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
because
not
I
even
remember
Irish, but I'm having a
I
ball.
lived
so-
in Germany for 6 years, and I don't ever remember celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if the Irish do it that much anymore. I think they probably do, but yeah.
But they get drunk every day.
Every day. Yeah.
That was a joke. I'm of Irish descent, so Black Irish, I think.
I'm actually a quarter Irish. My grandfather was Irish, so I've never been over there or anything. No.
Oh yeah, are you wearing green? Do you have? Well, he said they don't really do St. Patrick's. I don't know.
Yeah, no green. Yeah, I actually heard about that for the first time. Apparently, you're not wearing green, you can get pinched or something.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I've never
You used
heard
to
of
get
that.
clobbered at school if you didn't.
Do they still do that at school, like with all the safetyism and
You can't
what you?
with all the wokeism. It's
Yeah, you
considered
can't
an act
pinch
of
for St.
violence.
Patrick's. What do you?
Yeah, it's
What do they
considered.
do? Anything like? They probably don't penalize you for not having green because that makes you feel bad.
Yep, they took all the fun out of it.
So you can't even do St. Patrick's anymore at school because it.
Yeah, I think
Because it
that
was like, ha ha, you didn't wear green. Like it was.
Yep.
That's the very definition of marginalization.
Go up, pinch him, and say, "Ha ha, you got the cooties."
Oh, I remember the coot and the germs. And if you cross your fingers, that protects you. And you would pass it down. So like the kids would pick someone that day to have the germs. Like
So and
Patricia
so's
has
got
the germs, pass it down. And then everybody would whisper, Patricia has the germs, pass it down. And then if you were around Patricia, you would cross your fingers. And that meant you couldn't catch the germs that day. And then like tomorrow, a new kid would have the germs.
Still just silly kid stuff. But
Yeah,
no,
they
you can't do that anymore.
engaged. We wouldn't have time to do all that silliness if they were teaching us something interesting. No, it would
Do
have
you know
happened.
what CRT is, Jeff?
Critical race theory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Just in
That is
general.
probably-
You don't have to get too
It's
in
an
detail.
ideology. It's I don't think it has any business being state sponsored in any way or in any of our state institutions. If private companies want to embrace it, that's on them. Some of them are not having such good results with that. And I think like I don't want Christian teaching in the schools or in the government or anything like that. So I think it's an ideology. I don't think it's a representation of reality. So I don't think it has any business being pushed as though it's truth.
I agree.
Hey, Frank.
Now Joe Cool thinks it's the next best thing to
Well, but he
butter
grew
on
up. He grew up
bread.
black, and he's had different experiences than some of us has, and he needs
Joe
a
Cool's
story,
black?
context for
What?
those experiences.
Joe Cool's black? Are you serious?
How old is he? I thought he was like 84.
He's how old are you, Jeff?
19.
19.
I'll be 54 this year.
He's your age.
There's no way me and Mr. Joe Cool are the same age. I've been calling him Mr. Joe. I just need to call him bro. Hey, cool. Hey, bro. Hey, cuz. We're the elders.
Because he used to go around and say he was 79 on panels.
He told me he was 84. I'm like, no way. You're when you were rocking for 84.
That's because his man, he got confused with his man, Joe Biden. That was a joke. Never mind.
Yeah, that was a joke. That was a good joke.
He's in his mid. Well, I bought 84. If he's my age, then I don't know.
He looks older than
can't
me.
take
I
it back
think.
now. I'm sorry, Joe.
I thought he was older than me. To be honest with you,
I thought he was too. Because
I'm only 36.
60, right?
I'm 36.
Okay.
I mean 63.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I'm
we're like a
63.
decade apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned 53 last year.
But
I
if
was
you ask
born
my
in so my age matches the digit of the year every year. I turned
if you
53
ask my
I turned
14-year-old
54.
boy, he thinks I'm 90.
Who does?
My 14-year-old son, he thinks I'm 90.
Oh yeah, old people like when we were little, like people in their 40s or 50s were old people to
Oh
us. And now
yeah,
I am that
40s
age. I'm like, this
definitely.
is what we looked at as a kid. I would have been one of the old people. And I'm still like a teenager right now inside. And now it's
But
like
you
the 90-year-old people that look old, and the 70 and 60-year-old people look
but you
middle-aged-ish.
you got to remember back in the day, the age of living to was what, mid 50s?
Like
You
way back in the day.
yeah, and it's
Because in my
finally,
generation, the old people, like we were surrounded by old people that were like living to the 80s and 90s. Like it took for I have old people in my family to this day. They were old when I was a kid, and they're still alive, and they're still old.
that's from that clean living.
I don't know. Maybe it's the Cajun genes, but there's the old people are like the toughest, hardiest, most energetic, active people around growing up. So I associate age with something with longevity and kind of a hardiness and a level of activity and energy that not even the young people had. Like my mom right now, she's in her 70s. She's more active than I've ever been in my life. She's never home. She's always on the go. She travels. She's always in the car. She's always going. I'm going to visit this. I'm driving to Tennessee to go see so and so. Oh, I'm flying to California next week. We're going to the Ellis show. Like she's
Damn,
never sitting down. She has more
good
energy
for
than
her.
I can have in a week.
Good for her. That's
And that's what
excellent.
I'm used to the old people being like. So old to me was not like when you got 80 or like when you reached 80, that was not like the slowing down or stopping point. So I'm not used to seeing like 50-year
Decrepit.
old be like the lifespan limit. That's to me, life's just getting started.
Yeah, but the average life expectancy is definitely going up. I don't know whether it's reached it yet, but at some point in the next couple of years, it's going to be like over 100, just the average life expectancy.
Yeah.
Okay, he has me curious too now, Chuck.
If I flip that switch,
Oh, that's
oh, that's an outside light,
oh.
and then the other one's a recirculating fan on my fireplace.
Chris, are you awake?
Yeah, I'm here.
You were holding up the wall again.
You touched the nerve, Jeff.
Is that what happened? Is it really?
No, I'm okay. I'm trying to finish this for Lindsay. Something I was working on for her.
Are you
And
sure? Because I'm not detecting, but people because I don't pick up on these things. Chuck, are you picking up on there's something going on? Uh-oh.
I'm not.
How are you
I'm okay.
doing it? What are you
I'm
going
really
off
okay.
of? This is a chance to learn. Is it the quietness?
Yeah.
I'm really okay.
The slump down, quiet, head down, no convo, no eye contact with you.
See what's in my hand. I'm trying to finish this
See
thing.
how ambiguous it could be? It could go. It like.
That's why I hated when I took psychology and sociology in school. Too much heavy thinking involved.
I love psychology.
I
I hated sociology.
I always like studying them kind of independently, but not in the school sense. Like the school based sociology stuff was always thought was bullshit. But that's just me.
I wish I could find that book that we had to do that we were doing in sociology. I think it was when England dumped all the prisoners on Australia and then walked away, and they had to restart from scratch the sociological things that happened and how they developed as a society from that point.
Was it the tragedy of the commons?
I don't remember the title. It's been too many years ago. I used to have the book, but when my house burned down, I lost my library. So
Oh, that sucks.
So y'all are seeing it too, right? The chat that this I need a seeing eye human. This is what I don't have. The stuff that y'all are seeing.
I'm really okay, Dahlia. I promise.
No,
I
but
just know I know Chris and his patterns, so I was thinking that things are fine. Like because
Yeah,
this
I
hasn't
know
been
I'm fine.
this
I'm just
bad
trying to
over
finish
5.
I was trying to finish ordering this stupid case for Lindsay's phone, and it's just giving me all this trouble. So I'm just mad at PayPal right now. So
yeah, but we never left Australia. We dropped all the prisoners off there, but we still
Are
had
you in
to
Australia? Or no, you're British, right? Not Australian.
English. Yeah, yeah,
English. Okay.
yeah. So the English took all the prisoners from England over to Australia, set up prison colonies, but we still had to
yeah.
provide guards. We never actually left. Do you know what I mean? It was a British colony for like hundreds of years.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently I must be misremembering a little bit of it. So pardon my ignorance.
No, it's fine. Yeah, and actually, I could be wrong about it. So.
I thought it was a fascinating book read on how that Australia developed from that point on.
Yeah. At some point, we would have left because they're like independent now. They're like a republic now. But it wasn't for hundreds of years with all the prisoners.
Now,
right.
are they still a Commonwealth of England or not?
Yeah, Commonwealth, but like a republic.
Independent.
Yeah, I don't. Oh,
Okay.
actually, whether they actually have the king or the queen or the money or not, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, but they're definitely part of the Commonwealth. Yeah.
Canada's kind of in the same boat, ain't they?
Yeah, they have definitely still got the
But I
monarchy.
know, like their court system, they still use the King's Court, or before she died, it was the Queen's Court
Yeah,
as far as their legal system.
yeah, and the parliamentary system as well. I think they have the same as we do over here. Yeah.
Yeah, fascinating how some of that works or doesn't work,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
depending on how you look at it. It gets confusing. Other times it makes sense. That's what makes the world go round, though, I guess. What time is it in England? Probably 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, it's only 10 o'clock, nearly 10 o'clock at night. I think
Oh, okay.
yeah, you used to be 5 hours behind. Now you're 4 hours behind. I think you changed the
Oh,
daylight.
that's right. That's right. I hate that daylight savings time stuff. Ugh, messes me up every time.
All because farmers don't want to work when it's dark, apparently. Something to do with it.
Well, it actually came into play when the petroleum issues in the early '70s, wasn't it? When we had the fuel shortage here in the States of petroleum.
Was that in the 70s with the gas lines? I remember that.
Yeah, early '70s. I
70s.
think Nixon. I
No, I
could
think it was late. I think it was Carter.
No, it was Nixon.
No, it could not because my
Yeah,
memory was not fully developed
it
while
was
Nixon was there. And I
Nixon.
remember sitting in those gas lines for hours.
That was Nixon.
He might have been the
Carter,
reason we had him, but the lines.
however, Carter did bring in super high inflation.
Yeah. I'm too young to know anything about Carter.
But
That's
I was in the army when Carter became president, and he cut our pay.
Oh, they had one in 73 and they had another one in 79, the gas line
Yeah,
price. It's the one in 79 that I remember.
I remember both of them.
Frank, are you ready to go watch some Big Brother? Canadian Big Brother.
Oh, I
Because
don't like that
Canadians.
show.
I like
I
the
just
drama.
can't.
I like the.
I just can't get into Big Brother for some reason.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Chuck. I don't know. It just doesn't interest me. Like even Survivor and stuff. Like I get into those, but I Big Brother for some reason just, and I don't know why. There's not a good reason for it. I don't have like a.
It just
Big,
Big,
excites
the
me.
big. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the Panelverse. You have like 16 people in a house with different personalities, and the drama that starts to develop between them is the same drama that develops between the people on these streams. It's just what happens when you put humans together and like watching all the different permutations play out.
Yeah, but we're not.
Like this reminds me of the Panelverse.
We're not scripted though. They are.
No, they're not scripted.
Oh, come on.
It's 24. It's live 24 hours a day, and so
Yeah.
you can't.
It's like clips, so they pick out what they want you to see. So in that way, it's kind of fake, but it's not scripted in that
Yeah, they edit it and into a story because you have to be able to make some kind of story of it. But the
I
footage,
think if you took all of our panels and put them in a house, 99% would be dead.
we're piloting an online version first. That's what the email address and Chris's name is for.
Yeah,
we're going to do
supposed to
a
be.
actual online, but then who knows from there if we don't do an in-person version at some point.
What are you gonna call
the
it?
real,
Panel House?
the real world Panelverse or something.
It's called panel. Is this Panel Survivor? Is the working title?
Oh, okay.
But it's gonna be more than Survivor. It's not just gonna be like people trying to like outlast each other on the show or something like that.
Do I gotta sacrifice my chickens?
I guess if you want to, I mean that's up to you.
If you want to,
I'm not
we should
gonna
do
stop
that.
you.
We should do a voodoo theme, and instead of votes, you collect chickens, and you can sacrifice chickens to.
Ooh,
I
I don't do
That
voodoo.
can get expensive real fast.
I don't do
I got a
voodoo.
chicken with your name on it.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we need booze.
Well,
We have to
I
look
got
for food.
I got 16 chickens. As long as we got no more participants, we're
Oh, we
good.
can have one, and then we could watch you chop them each week as somebody gets eliminated.
Put their name on it. Yeah.
Oh no!
Paint their name.
Hey, Jonathan. Wow, you threw me off guard for a while. I'm like, oh, that's a person being nice and wish. Oh wait, Jonathan Montero. Some dissonance there. But yeah,
Somebody being nice. Not over here. Nobody's nice over here.
We're nice-ish. We have nice in our arsenal when we need it.
I was being facetious.
Deploy it effectively, but it's in there. Well, I think I have a date with Frank, and tonight's my D&D.
I hope you guys have a nice date.
Yeah, Frank got mad at me last night.
Frank, why are you mad at Chuck? Why are y'all fighting? Let's get this.
Because I chose Talcott over Big Brother.
Right. I was there.
That is pretty insulting, I have to admit. Even though I don't like Big Brother, but Talcott's not any better.
Because when he's like, I'm gonna let Chuck know we're here. He's in Talcott. And I'm like, oh yeah, he'll probably join us. I said, who would pick Talcott over Big Brother? And then Chuck's like, I can't stand Big Brother. I'm staying here.
I can't.
Like, oh, okay.
I mean, I'd rather stick my head in a toilet.
I don't know. I think I'd rather watch Big Brother than Talcott at this point.
It's no different than any other reality show.
If he straight up had that dude that we were talking about earlier on there, if he really had that guy on there like the other day, then
They have a guy on there right now that they're trying to get rid of that reminds me of Flow State. Like,
I can believe that.
Fratty personality. They're all trying to get him out of the house.
Flow's problem is I think he's gay and just doesn't realize it yet.
I don't think he's gay. I don't think. Why do you think Flow's gay? Let's end
that?
Why do you think Flo's gay?
Yeah, why?
I pick on him because he wears earrings.
Why gotta diss gay people like that?
Just
Yeah.
gay people.
That's an insult to gay people.
It wasn't meant as an insult by any stretch of the imagination. I hate all people equally.
Me too. Me too. I'm on the same level. We're on the same
There
level
are
there.
some I hate slightly more than others. But you have to work really hard to hate you. It takes a lot.
What was that, Jeff?
I said you have to work really hard to get me to hate you. There's very few people I actually hate.
Yeah, that's for real. I mean, hate
And
is
most,
such
of,
a,
like you said, it's that betrayal and trust. It's that sense of being fucked over by somebody. That you
even
trust.
the people
That's
that have
what
fucking over,
caused
like
the hate
it's
more than
too
anything.
much. It's too much energy to hate somebody. You know, it's just like it just requires this like constant like seething, loathing kind of thing. You know,
It
it's like
really,
it's like I
it
don't
really
know.
does.
Plus,
I can't.
it's actually worse for you being the hater than the. But you could hate someone and they probably wouldn't even care that you hate them. Do you know what I mean? Like you're saying, it hurts you more than it hurts them. You're probably sitting there all day, 24/7, kind of, getting stressed and that, and they just don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
I hated my mother. Not hated, but I didn't talk to my mother for a long time, like decades. And when we finally started talking again, and I let go of all of that, it was one of the best feelings. Like,
Can
Yeah,
I
it
ask
really
you?
is. Yeah.
hell, it was just
Can I
like
ask you a question, Jeff?
evaporated from me instantly of all that anger and negative emotion that I was holding for so many years.
Was
It's
it
just not
because of your? Was it because of your lifestyle?
no. We had
Okay, that's good
we've
enough.
had personal conflicts since birth, and they just escalated to a point where it just was
Okay,
easier to. She was not a good influence in my life.
I was just
But
curious.
we're a
is
lot
all.
better now. She's done her
I
part, doing my
I
part.
I had an evil mother, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's I mean, I don't want to say too much live on stream because I do. I like my mama. So, but we did
Well,
have.
even though you don't like them, you gotta love them.
I do love her.
There you
I
go.
respect her now in a way I didn't growing up because I see all the stuff she did for the family as a single mother that I didn't necessarily realize she was doing as a child. I didn't see all that stuff as a kid, but I can look back and
Oh,
appreciate.
you didn't have a father?
No, he was out of the picture pretty early, and we had a
Ah,
stepfather for a little while, but he was also out of the
he
picture.
didn't last long.
He didn't last. No, they don't tend to last.
Became gator bait, did he?
No, he's still out there. They both are.
Gator bait.
Chris, I only got
Hey,
one rule.
this is what we were waiting on. It is not a St. Patrick's Day stream without Paddy P, our very little Irish. What do they
There
call
we are.
that?
Yeah, there's Patty.
Where's your
Is
grand-
she in Ireland?
Paddy, can you come on camera and show it? You don't have. You don't have to show yourself, but can you wave the shillelagh and bless our stream?
Is she in Ireland?
She's not in Ireland, but she's Irish.
Oh, okay.
Is a shillelagh? I'm trying to think. Is a shillelagh like a kind of instrument? I'm thinking like a guitar.
I think it's a stick, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
druids. I know in Dungeons and Dragons, it's like a cudgel, a wooden cudgel.
yeah.
The
Like
druids
ribbon,
can use, and
yeah.
some of them can have magic powers.
like ribbons on the end. Yeah, they do
There
all
was
the time.
also a restaurant growing up called Shillelagh's. It was an Irish pub.
Yeah.
So yes, happy. I'm glad you're here. You made our St. Patrick. We were actually about to wrap up, but I feel like it's a complete St. Patrick's now that you're here.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, anybody want to close with anything? Chuck,
Yeah.
got anything going on? Wildheart.
Yeah, no, just thanks for having me on. Good to see everyone here.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Well, have a good St. Patrick's. Oh, you're on mute, Chuck.
I said I'm tending to my food, so I'll let you guys go.
Okay,
All
well,
right.
good to see you, and we'll be here tomorrow. For
And you
more
two
baseball.
kiss and make up.
Well, we're fine. I'm not even worried about it.
No,
We're
no,
fine.
Okay.
no, I can't.
I'm more
hold it.
worried about
Look,
like the
even if-
long term
even if,
pattern.
like,
of this
Let me tell you
happening.
something. Like, even if I was mad, I can't hold a grudge to save my life. Like, I try to stay mad at people. Like when people have really like really done me wrong and stuff like that. I can't hold a grudge to save my life. Like I seriously, like, I will end up forgiving them in like within like days, even after like they've like even if like they killed my dog, and like, you know, I mean, they'd have to actually like murder my family or something for them to me to actually have that kind of like deep kind of like, you know, long lasting hatred. I can't hold on to hate at all. It dissipates on me. I'm actually, it's actually a detriment. Like I should be more, I shouldn't let go of things as easily as I do. I let go of things so easily that it's probably really unhealthy. But but I can't hold on to a grudge to save my life, man. I'm just like I'm useless when it
Okay,
comes to that.
I'm out.
All right,
Okay,
later.
take care.
Bye.
See you later. All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow for, you know, we don't ever know till
We
we
never
get
know.
here. So, all right. Well, Frank and I will be in the Discord, and I'll be around.
All right, cool. All right. Yep. Oh, I don't know what I was supposed to get up and like way earlier and go out and do things, and I didn't do that, so now I don't really know what I'm gonna do for
Well, you and Lindsay were gonna have. Was it you that was wanting to have to do something fun today?
Yeah, but if we took too long, and then I was gonna go stream from the farmers market and show everybody the farmers market. It was really cool, but I got distracted trying to do this stupid thing, and then it just kept giving me trouble, and then this show was starting, so never left. So it's already closed.
All right.
Now.
Well, I hope you have some kind of fun the rest of the night.
Yeah, we'll try.
Not, I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Go celebrate. Happy St. Patrick's. See you tomorrow, same time. Channel.